1, 2, 3. No, I've got 40 seconds left. 1, 2, 3. I can barely hear myself in my ears. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Damo. I don't think I can hear myself in my ears. Am I plugged in? That's a bit better. I think it's there. Yeah, it is there. Thank you. It could be a little bit too loud now. Sorry. Thank you. That's good. I just couldn't hear anything at all. That's great. Thank you very much. So we're going to start without Hammer?
No. I've said if it's you can't get it for 4:30, we'll wait. But I just said we'll try it for this week, as in we're live.
Right.
first and foremost, a special hello to our patrons right now who are watching us live. Now, we've been doing this for a little bit over the last couple of weeks. BackChat, of course, powered by Fleet Network.
Of course.
Next week, we are properly live on YouTube. BackChat Studios, look it up. But for this week only, our special gift to patrons. You're watching live. Hello.
There could be is there millions? Like, could there be
And
millions?
There could be millions
Yeah.
watching at home.
Absolutely.
Basically, this is the last test run before we get it right. So any fuck-ups, patrons, you'll be the ones
We could break
that
YouTube.
wear it on the chin.
I would say there'll be a fuck up.
Oh, God, yeah.
Probably.
Fuck up incoming.
But that's
Yeah.
fine. Hey, a gift for you both.
Did you bring something back from New Zealand?
No, I didn't. Oh, damn, I
Welcome
didn't
back.
actually.
Welcome
thank
back,
you.
obviously.
It's
and
good to be back in Perth.
Thank you
Cars
very
looking
much.
big.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you.
looking massive, pressed up
Bit
against
tanned
the
as well.
How big they are.
Yeah.
Someone asked me.
You're just pressing them against the...
Are
the-
Dan's
Oh, look at that. Look at that on the
that's
screen.
That's an enormous
Are
calf,
Dan's calves bigger than his quaddies? Would that be
Probably.
correct?
Yeah, close. It's like just a
impressive.
pipe, a whole pipe.
It's impressive. Gift.
So we moved into a
It's
new
like a
studio.
python that's eaten like a little rat or something that's just...
Did you see?
in
Apparently, they discovered the biggest python in history or something
would have been-
in the ocean.
in the ocean.
Yeah, it's just down there.
Is
It's
it alive?
huge.
That's a
Alive.
whale. That's just a whale, I think. That's a big ass python. It's got
Um,
fins. It swims.
The gift,
Anyway,
the gift for you.
continue.
So we moved into the new studio. Now this place
Yep.
wasn't really occupied for maybe years. Who knows? It was haunted. Maybe it was
okay.
like
It could still be haunted.
Talking my language, yeah.
There's some stories happening already.
Great.
This could be haunted.
The thing about that, when and you may have experienced this if you've moved into a new house and no one's been there for a while, it's a bit stanky, like stale. You know, that sort of stale carpet smell.
Maggots
Yeah.
falling off the roof and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dead
gross.
bodies rotting in the corner.
So to combat that, I have a gift. I guess this is for everyone in the office, but
Yep.
you know, seeing as you two are on the podcast, it's for you
Yep.
both, and it's sort of a bit special for you, Hammer.
Yep.
It's a little air freshener. I'm just going to launch this to you.
Yep. Okay.
Good
There you
throw.
go.
Catch.
Oh, it's Andy. It's
Give
young
him a look.
Snee.
Give him a look.
There it is. It's
There you go.
the Andrew Brayshaw air freshener.
Does it have any words on the back, or is it just...
What does it say? Nothing about him.
Where
It
did
just
you
says
get this?
expose it 1 week at a time.
He
you
smells
open
like
this?
grape.
Can
Yeah,
you
it's great.
apparently.
Just rip the whole thing. I know you meant
Yeah.
to do it one bit at a time.
Nah,
to-
we're gonna take him all the way in today.
There you go. How is it like
Ooh.
grape Hubba Bubba?
Yeah, he does smell like grape. He's a grape. Yeah, smell that.
So smelly.
There you go. Is that
Yeah,
that's a little
he
gift,
smells like grape.
gift for you both?
Yeah.
I can't take all the credit for that. Rebecca, my wife, bought that and said this is for the studio.
Thanks,
so thanks, Beck.
Thanks, Beck.
And thanks, Andy, for being great.
Yeah, thanks Andrew for being grape flavored. Does that work? Does that?
Oh, I can smell it. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just whiffing grape.
On today's show, of course, we're live, so we're doing things a little bit different.
Yep.
But we've got some big things we want to go about. Now, firstly, I'm really I'm still confident in the West Coast ability,
Are they cursed?
but are they cursed? We are going to talk
Are
about
West Coast
West
cursed?
Coast. Are they cursed?
Yeah,
Matt Flynn's injured. Whatever.
You're upset.
I'm
I'm upset. Matt
pretty
Flynn, one
flat.
of the great men, by the way.
Oh.
Like just one of the great dudes.
with apparently the first time in history that someone's had this injury.
What else we got?
have you
What
heard-
else we got on the show?
Also, the WWE. This
It
happened.
was in town,
It was
yep.
in town. You went, Hammer.
I was there. Yep.
I didn't. Scoa, you were
Did
there.
not. I spoke to
free
a
for
couple of wrestlers. I'm a bit of a big dog now.
Yep.
Tell you what, one of the hardest events I've ever hosted. What else have we
Really?
got? Yeah.
Going to talk some more Backman, of course, because we
Of
bloody
course,
love the Backman.
We do. Yep.
We actually have good finds. Someone sent in some finds
Oh,
and
that's
some
cool.
emails. And
Yes.
there's a live event coming up at the Shelter Brewery in Busselton this week. You're going to be at it.
Down south.
Jaden's
Drew.
going to be at it. Skeet's going to be there.
Can I do this off the top just
Yeah,
to let
go.
people know? So down south, a couple of things here. If you listen to the Shelter Footy Cast, you'll know what I'm talking about here. I've got a special bond with Mark Reddings on the show, the Shelter Footy Cast. We go through week by week review and preview. Hammer hosts it sometimes.
yeah.
When I'm gallivanting around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are doing a live show at Shelter Brewery in Busselton, 8 p.m. start of the show. From 7 p.m., Skeet's putting his wallet on the bar.
What?
Yeah, so you're going to buy tickets. They're $15 tickets, but free beers for an hour.
Three people.
$15
Three
tickets,
people
which
will get a
all
beer.
go to Skeet.
Yeah, correct. And then he'll be putting that on the bar.
Yeah,
So
that's
get
great.
down there. If you're down south, if you're going down south, long weekend this one.
It is, yep.
Why don't you pop in? We had a message from one of our listeners saying he's just had, and shout out to this man, I can't remember his name. He's just had a baby in the last year or so. First time away with the family, gone down south. He's leaving his missus and his baby to come to the Shelter Footy Cast.
Great.
Good on him.
Yeah, absolutely great.
Well,
done.
you know, when you first have a baby, sometimes you need space from your partner. He's doing a good thing
and
for
that
his
continues
family.
on for marriage.
Forever.
Yeah.
Now, we are live, like I said, for patrons, and this Friday is our first ever. Well, actually, we're making history this week. For the first time ever.
What are we doing?
We're doing 2 shows in 1 week.
Oh shit! This is one of 2 shows.
This is the first
Did you know
time.
that?
I didn't, but now I do. Lucky I got nothing on
So
Friday night.
of course, you got the Shelter Footy cast. You've got then us on a Tuesday morning usually. Now it's going to be Mondays at 4:30.
And then we got Wednesday guest.
Wednesday guest episode. Thursday, Shelter Footy cast.
Wow.
Friday, another BackChat episode at 4:30 live on YouTube. Plus it goes out on Spotify, Apple, all of that.
Double the fun and double the money.
Yep, yep, double the money.
I don't know what you're going to say.
It's wow. There you go. I've noticed since that we're obviously going live, we're trying to stick to a bit more of a time schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like Dan's just like we're hitting the points.
we're going to talk about these points. Dan's just giving a preview.
Yeah, I
to
know.
our
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
but
no.
it's
It's
like
a bit
you just
more like
feel
a show, you know.
You feel. I feel like it's less loosey goosey, more so like
Tidy whitey.
tidy whitey.
I've given you a little chat and said, look, less, maybe
Oh,
less
me.
curtain,
Yeah,
less
me.
curtain, sort of, wiping things on curtains, a little bit less
Shitting
back
your
as
hands,
much,
clapping.
little bit less back as
What
much.
was I wiping on a curtain?
I don't know.
I don't know what that story was. You may have
Wiping
just
curtains.
dubbed yourself in on something. man.
I just, if we're at 10 out of 10,
Yep.
one time Adam Simpson came in and we'd had a big weekend on the beers. And he found out about it. We'd been out on a boat trip. It was during the season, but we're allowed to drink.
Yeah,
and he'd
right.
given us permission to go out and drink.
Yep.
But he'd sort of found out it probably escalated a little bit more than it needed to.
Okay.
So he came into the team meeting room and he said, boys, how are we going on the weekend? Everyone's going, yeah, good, great. Everyone's good to train.
Nailed it.
Yep, good to go. And he went around the room and he started asking people, if footy trips are 10 out of 10,
Yep.
what level were you at?
What was
I know
the
you're out
On
on
the
the boat.
weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What was the weekend?
it was actually a backman's party, right? So,
So
all
it would have
backs
been
go.
a 10. Yeah, definitely.
And anyway, Tom Barras, what we're at? 4, Gov, 5, Scully, 3, Sharad, what we're at? Sharad Wellingham looks up and goes, like about a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Because we were lying. We were at a 9 out of 10.
God, yeah, you would have been 9 to 10.
So if
All right.
your
If footy
output,
trips are 10.
if your output's at a 10, which I think you've been around
Elite levels.
9
by
to
the way.
10, I'm just pulling you back to an 8.
You're not
Yeah.
going to get anything less than my everything, but
Yeah.
you're just going to
Correct.
get a few less swear words.
Yeah,
that's
great.
all.
I
That's
like
all
it.
you'll get
We love
from me.
that.
Still want you to swear though, to be honest.
Of course.
If
I'll
it-
just
if
maybe
it's
not go
warranted.
off on as many tangents.
No, more tangents are alright too. Like we are right
yeah,
now.
okay.
Yes.
Sure. Great
We've just got a hard start time. I will just say that. If we
Oh,
want to go,
yeah.
if we want to go long, we can go long.
4-hour podcast. You smelling that grape?
Oh,
It's really coming
it's
through.
just getting nice into the nostrils.
Hammer's getting high. So while you've got one brother there on the mic with
Yep.
you,
It's the Brayshaw hour, isn't it?
Brayshaw hour with
Yeah.
Andy and now Hammer. Big moment for your other brother in the AFL,
Yep.
Angus.
His final moment.
How's he going?
Retired. Yeah, mate, he's doing okay. He's he's hung him up. He
Yes,
didn't have to make the call in the end. He was given the medical no-go. But he's doing okay. We found out probably 2 weeks ago he wanted to get a final scan to tick him off before the Richmond Pracky.
Because he was back training.
He was
right?
back training,
Right.
and he was sort of the contact is different with opposition versus your own teammates. He was still under a bit of no contact stuff, so they were all taking care of him. And then it was like, look, I feel good to play Richmond, but I really want to. Like, I'm still apprehensive, so let's get this scan. Got the scan, and then it was just a pretty categorical hang him up. So.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that was sort of talked about last year, right? When
Yep.
you on the Shelter Footy cast, you said he has to look at his future now. It's a
Yep.
pretty big deal. So it must have been that's a rough off season to have to go through that.
Yeah, I mean, he was without having too much in-depth knowledge of what the scans look like, he was sort of umming and ahhing as to whether or not he could continue anyway. He's obviously engaged to Danielle Frawley, Danny's daughter, so there's a long-standing history of concussion, CTE stuff there, which was playing on his mind. And at the in all seriousness, if I'm looking at it right now, I think he's obviously still shocked, but it might be a bit of relief down the line that he's got this out of the way and he doesn't have to deal with another concussion. He doesn't have to worry her side of the family anymore. And he gets to just move on and live his life. He's played 167 games. He's won a flag. He's been in an All-Australian squad. He finished third in the Brownlow. He's done a lot. So
He has had
won
a
a premiership.
great
Yeah.
Huge
career.
Yeah.
He's not walking away from a nothing career.
No,
which
correct.
We see some
People would
do.
dream about his
Yeah,
career.
God, yeah.
Correct. And I think it's very special. I've been texting you a bit, hoping
Yep.
that you and the family, and especially Angus, is going okay. As one of your all-time great sayings goes,
Yeah.
shit house, not fatal.
Yep,
Correct.
exactly right. So he'll be living by that. He'll be on to the next thing. He's got to take it easy for the time being, but he'll be fine. So.
Look, he made a shift into the back line
Yeah,
later
he
in
did.
his career.
Yep.
I feel like that's lining up for a bit of an Angus Brayshaw type crossover in a little
Right.
bit. Let's
Yeah.
let the dust
Let
settle
the
a
dust
little
settle
bit.
for a bit.
And
Let
I
him
think
do his
Angus
thing,
can join
yeah.
us from the couch.
Yeah.
He's a backman.
He is a
Absolutely.
backman. Yep.
He
There
might
you
have
go.
been.
He was in the All Australian squad as a halfback.
Exactly
Oh,
right.
And like the footage that has been coming out, like obviously I watch him all the time, but you just forget that he was actually a pretty handy player. Like he was a fucking gun.
Yeah.
All the footage that's come out about him, like courageous, going back with a flight, doing all this.
blah,
It's
blah,
like,
blah.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. The first couple of highlights were him as early days as a midfielder, and then it was just courage.
So
Yeah.
what
Defender.
I've loved about some of his highlights that I've seen this week, a high majority are from one game. There's like not a high majority, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of highlights from the grand final.
Yeah,
huge.
So
Killed
it.
if you're gonna have a career, you're gonna have to hang the boots up, which we don't. That sucks beyond belief. But if you're gonna have highlights shown at the end of it,
Yeah,
highlights from the grand final, that's what you want.
Yeah, God, yeah, it
And
is.
he's
So,
bloody done it.
Yeah, stepped up on the big stage, played a very pivotal role in that game, and was pretty fucking good that day.
Also, shout out to the Melbourne media team who put together one of the highlight packages I saw with it was maybe directed by James Cameron.
Yeah, they had some good
music
that
from
was
Hans Zimmer in
was
the
a cracker,
background.
wasn't it?
It was very good.
Yeah,
If you
and
haven't
they-
seen
yeah.
that, go have
Zimmer.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer, my favourite. Matt Flynn.
You big
Let's
fan
get
of
straight
Hans,
to it. Yeah, I love Hans Zimmer. Matt Flynn, West Coast, the most recent guy to go down from injury.
Yeah.
What is happening at West Coast? I'm sick of it. I saw some of the footage from the West Coast Freo game, and I thought we're on for premiership this year. Like all the doubters, we're back.
So what did you genuinely think you were back?
At what point?
Yeah,
what did you watch?
we're literally back. It's
What, did you
luring
watch
him
the
in,
warm-up?
luring in the AFL.
You watched the
Luring-
warm up and thought we're on.
I saw Snake snag one in 50. That was
Yeah.
good.
He was looking good, Snake.
He looked
He
good.
had 5 shots in the first half and kicked 1, so he was on song.
Yes, but Matt Flynn, of course.
Right.
Yeah, devastating.
What's happened there?
I look. Ernie Dingo came out. I'm just going to go straight to it. Ernie Dingo came out midway through last year, and I know Ernie's a big friend of the West Coast Eagles, and he certainly wouldn't have wanted to have thrown the West Coast Eagles under the bus or anything.
Yep.
But he spoke about on the Yockeye footy show,
Yes.
right, with Chris Johnson, with Andy Cracker involved, about the closeness that Indigenous people have to the land and the animals that live on that. And the West Coast Eagles, they designed a footy jumper in 2019, and he believes that there is a design on the jumper that went a little bit above and beyond what needed to be done there.
It's the one that we have here
The
hanging in the
Waggle.
studio.
I think it's the waggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
There
snake,
it is.
and it was feathers were added to it. Not really allowed to do that. They also have a giant wooden sculpture at the
Yep.
football club that's based off a similar design. That he wasn't joking in any way. When I saw him speak about it, we're not going to play the footage, but he was 1,000% serious that there's some issues there, and not cursed, but
We're cursed.
there's some cultural issues.
The Eagles are cursed.
Might be on a ancient burial land type areas.
Yeah.
Because Matt Flynn done. Tyler Brockman's hurt his knee. Haven't heard
Matt
anything.
Flynn, have you? So I saw Matt Flynn at the game the other day, and he told me what his injury was.
What is it?
So he's done a hamstring, and originally they thought it was a calf because his hamstring, the tendon wraps. You see it on Patreon. The tendon wraps like around here and connects to the front of your calf.
So it comes around from the back
comes
of the
around
hamstring,
from the back,
front
around the
of your
front of the
hand.
knee to sort of like there. He's torn the tendon from this spot, which is like
on the front of the leg.
on the front of
Yeah.
the
It's
leg.
It's almost at the top of the
in
calf.
your top of the calf. It's like no one's ever seen that. No one's ever done that before. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
And
There you
so
go.
that's
And
what
on
Matt
a
Flynn's done.
Captain's run.
On a
Friday.
captain's run Friday.
Talk us through the intensity. If 10 out of 10 is match,
You're at
footy trip.
You pick. You can go to 0 if you want. You can just you
You
stand
don't
there.
have to go out there.
He would have been at
Right.
3 max.
Well, this is what it
3.
says. Flynn jumped into a ruck bag towards the end of a light session and complained of pain around his knee and upper shin. He was sent for scans and then scheduled for surgery to expedite his rehabilitation and recovery. Now, this is the part that hurts. The expected time before his return to play is between 10 to 12 weeks.
It's a
12
hamstring
weeks.
tendon
It's a
injury.
hamstring
I'm surprised it's
tendon,
not 12 to 16, to
Yep.
be honest. That's what a hamstring tendon is.
For a
12
big
to
man
16.
like that, it'll be 16. I reckon.
Oh, that's
I think
so
it'll be
rough.
closer to 16 than 12.
So, okay. I can't wrap my head around whether I just consume too much Western Australian content and
Yep.
West Coast are injured, or they're actually just ravaged by injury. I think it's the latter. I think they're ravaged beyond belief.
Well-
We got Matt Flynn, Liam Ryan's done a hammy tendon.
Yep.
Jeremy McGovern did hammy tendons last year. He's now got groin issues. We've got Tyler Brockman out. We've got Matt Flynn out.
What about the boy?
The boys' groins have gone.
Can
The
we
boy
just
got
the groins
concussed.
concussed.
let's have a look at this, Nick. Chuck this picture up. This is the boy coming off the ground during the scratchy.
Which I saw. Look, he had a big head clash with Luke Jackson, which is, given what we've just spoken about with Angus, I don't think it's a good thing whatsoever. He went in for a tackle, head-butted, and came out with some blood all over him. Not only can you not see the blood here, all I can see is a six-pack.
Six-pack, yeah.
I can just genuinely see the six-pack.
He's done that on purpose. He knows.
I don't reckon that's from... Is that the picture from...
That can't be.
That wouldn't be the one from
Look at the ground.
That's not the picture. That's a picture from Adelaide when he hurt his last year. There's a
That's
picture
great.
like this.
He's even stronger this year.
There's a picture like this of him going
I
off.
like it.
That's right.
I can see a 4-pack there. In the current photo, there's like a 10-pack.
10.
Yeah. There you go. So,
So that would have been disappointing. Harley Reid. Did you see that?
He went down, and I thought, well...
Did you see that on the footage?
I was calling it.
My God. It was like he's done his hamstring. That's a hamstring or something.
So
And I'm like...
So try calling this on the game day. Me and Skeeter calling it. He goes down with cramp, right?
Yeah.
Watched it happen.
Yeah.
And then the ball went out, straight back in 20 seconds later, and he's gone, time for a hanger. He's jumped off the ground, sprinted up to a pack, jumped for a hanger.
Yeah.
Now, in hindsight, he's cramped midair and just completely stiffied it on the way down, like the double stiff leg. But it looked like, to me, calling the game, he'd done his ACL.
Yeah.
Because it looked like he came
well,
down
that's
and he's
what-
jarred.
Yeah.
Justin
Jarred and then popped
ran,
up.
Then did his ACL.
Mate, he then stayed on the ground and he's holding his knee. So this is all in real time. I'm calling this. And Skeet's having a bit of a laugh because we were watching him cramp. And then Skeet's like, hey, look at him, he's cramping again, the young fella. And I was like, if he's just done his ACL, they're going to burn the place to the ground.
I would be lighting the match.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So he's okay, though.
He's okay.
Harley
And
Reid was.
How did he look? How did he look in
He
a
looked-
bit of real life action?
Didn't have much of it. Got done twice holding the
Yeah,
ball.
he looked
trying to
rattled.
dunk.
But he looked like an 18-year-old playing his first game of
Which he
against
is.
opposition, which he is.
Yeah.
So don't forget, like people...
His first, don't argue, was against
his
Andy,
first on Andy, yeah.
who may be the best tackler in the AFL.
Yeah.
And he went to grab Andrew, and Andrew said, well, hang on a minute, mate, I was the best player in the competition a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty good, so I grabbed his arm and tackled him. But people are expecting, and for West Coast fans listening, do not expect this guy to win premierships for you in his first year. He's 18 years old. He's going to be a gun. Like, no 18-year-old's got the confidence to do what he does, and it'll click. It'll click in due course.
His biggest highlight, he took a kick in.
It was pretty good. He ran to 50.
He took a kick in.
It was awesome.
Ran his 20, took a bounce, ran another 20. By the time he kicked it, he was outside 50.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He kicked it to the back of the square. West Coast players didn't know what was going on. Kicked it straight to Freo. And again, on the commentary, I'm like, wake up, teammates. You should be knowing he's doing that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So don't expect him to
Well,
win
you just
you
got me jazzed now.
Yeah, don't expect him to win a premiership, but expect him to be
to
grow in confidence because he's going to be a star.
You don't have 17 other Harley Reids. There's nothing to be jazzed about. West Coast were disappointing at best.
They weren't great.
Fremantle, very good.
Yep.
Connection with their forward line, elite. Tracy, Jackson, Amos. They're going to kick a lot of goals this year. I like them a lot.
Tell you what,
I like Freo a lot.
You know what the most exciting thing about the Fremantle Dockers is at the moment? He's 194 centimetres. He's cut like Adonis, and he's got long hair, and his name is Nathan Fife. Oh, boy, he looked good. And I played golf with Andrew, and he
looked hot.
He looked hot, firstly. He did. And the second thing was, from the inside word, he just doesn't care anymore about, like, back in the day, it was like you want to just dominate. He's done it all. He doesn't need to. He's won Brownlows. He's won Doig medals. All he cares about now is winning a premiership. So he's
He
just
looked like that.
He's just like,
wish he
boys.
figured that out
distributing.
5
Yeah.
years ago.
He was
Just
distributing.
distributes. Went to Andrew. Went to Andrew at a stoppage. Went to Andrew at a stoppage and said, "Oh, mate, like, I'll just block for you here. I'll draw two of them. You just get out." So just runs at his opposition, grabs his arms like that. The ball just comes here. No one's tackling him. He gets the ball here. No one's doing anything. And yes, it was easy because it was, Sean Darcy in the ruck against, not great opposition. Matt Flynn was down. And it was just hold it there and do whatever you want. But he just went, I'm going to take it there. And, I've got 3 on me now. So bang, there you go.
They are going to be a force this year.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about preseason predictions.
Let's hold. We're going to do preseason predictions next week because, of course, we're getting closer, and I don't want to go too soon. There's still another week. West Coast are playing Adelaide or Port this weekend, and Freo are playing the other one. So there's still a lot to be learnt in this week, I think, before we make any big predictions. Yep. But we're going to do that next week.
Well, how do you think West Coast's going to go this year?
Well, we're going to win the premiership. I have no. There's no.
I respect the shit out of that.
There's no doubt in my mind. Like, we're going to win the premiership in 2024.
Wow.
We're going to do our preseason predictions next week, but this week we did have someone, John, sent in something.
Johnny boy.
He said, "Hey boys, noticed that Sam McClure had very smugly been doing his preseason predictions.
Smugly.
The first clip is from
Settle.
Feb 7th. The second only 13 days later. How does this happen? Give us a look at this.
Don't have audio. If we can have another little play. Missing the audio. If we can go back to the start of that. I think you might be on mute still, Jaden.
That's right. We'll like we said, we're doing this live.
this is live. Sometimes
this
it
is what
fucks
we're
up.
some
talking about.
things. We got this video still playing. Anyways, let's go back to the Sam McClure
So
thing.
when we hear what he said, because I've seen this, right? I'll tell you how it happens. It happened right here on the Shelter Footy Cast and BackChat last year. I said Freo to play top 2, West Coast to be finalists. Doesn't happen. And look, is Sam McClure being smug? I don't think so. He's doing like live content. People are asking him questions. He's just shooting from the hip.
Is this the one about Carlton?
With it, once we see this footage and we have a look at it, it's you'll see it. It's Carlton.
You've
and
been on the
Collingwood.
receiving end of
We need
these.
to address
Go.
the elephant
Here we
in
go.
the room. Carlton have to be premiership favourites.
Oh yeah, here we go.
And if anyone tries to tell you down the street that they shouldn't be, they're not following the game properly.
That's clip 1.
I have thought
This
about
is
this
clip 1.
every single...
And who's going to win the premiership?
Clip 2. 2 days later.
Collingwood.
Port.
Against?
Collingwood. We need to address the...
Honestly, it's not a dig at Sam McClure.
Sammy.
Like he's just shooting from the hip. Like,
No, well,
absolutely.
hang on a
if you
minute.
do enough of this stuff, you say stuff that you don't remember you said. I don't remember what we talked about yesterday.
To Chris Howie's credit, you can be premiership favourites and not be in the grand final, so he's not wrong there.
That's a very good point. You can
He's-
win the flag.
You can
without
win
being
the flag
premiership.
without being premiership favourites. You don't have to make the grand final as a premiership
That's
favourite.
true. Yeah, you've done it.
I think Carlton should be in the conversation as premiership favourites. I don't think they
It's not
have
a-
to guaranteed, no questions asked, be the
Yeah,
premiership
take him
favourite.
out the back, shoot him all. If you
Yeah.
don't think Carlton are going to win the
Old
premiership.
Yeller, walk him out the back and feed him a steak.
Old Yeller.
That's the dog that gets
I
taken
know.
out the back.
It's amazing.
It's like the oldest reference.
Sorry, it was my I laughed as if I was taking a piss. That was incredible.
Yeah.
It's a sad movie.
It's a terribly sad movie. Anyway, that's not what you need to do if you think Carlton are premiership favourites. You don't need to, if anyone's disagreeing with that, you don't need to kill them.
Yes, of course.
But I don't think he is correct.
I have a nudie run due.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was going to happen last week.
Yeah,
What happened?
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot to do it.
Small thing, I guess. Those
Yeah,
small
you
things,
just-
Yeah, and then I have to do the run as well. Like there's
Yeah.
a small thing and then
Massive
I have to do the
thing.
run. Yeah, got it. You got it.
Yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
The bottom of
Got
the
a small dick.
Tiny.
Yeah.
running around the stadium. Jeez, I'll tell you what, the river's cold.
He hasn't got in the water.
Not in
Because
the
it's
river.
dragging along. The
Yeah,
anchor.
We did promise we wouldn't get into the
Free way to go. Hit 'em real hard, set 'em down below.
Okay. Right. It's due. It's due before round 0.
Okay.
Not round 0 yet.
That's
Although
true.
Not
Okay.
not a really in the state
You're
too
pretty
often.
busy. I know what your next week or so looks
It's
like.
not going to
Pretty
take a
busy.
long time. I'm pretty quick.
You were obviously busy last week commentating your first
Reel that one in.
first game of the season. So we talked about Freo West Coast, but we didn't get to talk about your performance. We talked a little bit about Fremantle and West Coast.
But yeah, how'd you go?
How did you go? Because I just quick test for you.
Yeah.
So there's a player.
I had
for Fremantle.
I had a lot of feedback
Okay.
on my performance.
So
A few blunders.
question for you. There's a guy who plays for Fremantle Dockers. Last name Emmett.
Yes, I'm well aware.
First name.
Tom.
Tommy Emmett. He's. I don't know that you can really see it here, but that scar that I've got on my head.
Head to head with Tom.
Yeah,
Emmett.
head to head with Tommy Emmett.
There
I
you go.
think Tom Emmett might be my favourite.
Oh, he's a
Freo
gun.
Docker.
I
Really?
like him.
The way he goes about it, it's like Lockie Schultz, but he's bigger. He's sprinting around, tackling people, hitting packs,
That's
I like
why they
Tom- I
let
like
Lucky
Tommy
Schultz
Emmett.
go.
kicking goals. Like he's an effort guy.
What
And
did
I
you-
like him.
Did you call him by the wrong name?
Straight off the bat, Matt Emmett. Great to see you. Great
Oh,
effort.
yeah.
I would have said outstanding effort because the other feedback I had was I said the word outstanding way too many times.
Who is Matt Emmett? Do you
Don't
know
know.
Matt Emmett?
Don't
Okay.
know. I've self-corrected myself on the coverage.
Yep. That's
Sorry
good.
about that, Tom. Matt. The very next incident he was involved in,
Called him Matt.
I think he kicked a goal.
Yep.
What a goal by Josh Emmett.
Oh no.
Call him Josh.
Wow.
I don't know where I'm pulling these names from.
Sure.
Pull myself up again and publicly apologise to him on national TV.
Oh, that's good.
So Tommy Emmett, I'll never get his name wrong again.
Ever.
And he is my favourite Docker this year.
Yeah.
Just
You should.
wanna put
I'll
that
tell you what you should do.
on the wall.
Now that you've mentioned it, you should purposely get his name wrong every time.
Make a new name every time.
There goes Steve Emmett.
Peter Emmett.
Yeah.
Emmett is his first name.
The great goal by
good.
Tracy Emmett.
Mr.
There was a tweet from @Todd J Davey.
Toddy boy?
It's an X. Is it a tweet or an X? I don't know. Whatever. We're calling him
We're
tweets.
calling them tweets.
We're calling him tweets.
No one's ever calling
X's.
Todd just X'd.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
So
Sorry,
speaking of you saying outstanding too much on the commentary, here's a tweet from Toddy Boy. Phrases that should be banned from the AFL, I guess, lexicon.
Great.
It's a great word.
Whatever it is.
Vernacular. Here's another one.
I'm gonna.
Yum.
I'll give you some of them.
Why don't you monotone them and I'll give them to you in commentary mode.
Okay.
Okay. Love the way he goes about it.
Tell you what, I just love the way Tommy Emmett goes about it. It's bloody unreal.
Love
There you
the
go.
way-
Up
Yeah,
and
I don't
about.
Tom Emmett is up and about. Look at that tackle. Up and about. Yeah.
Great.
So these are ones that are overused.
Okay, here you go. Saying ex-player loves a goal.
Tom Emmett loves a goal, doesn't he? Of course he fucking loves a goal. Of course he does. No, Tom Emmett hates a goal.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's just the use of the words brand, DNA, or system. I guess that's for more of a team.
That's about West Coast Eagles DNA. That's what they're about. That's their brand. That's what they live for. The system that they are working in right now, their back line, they're not even playing on anyone. They're just playing within a system.
Great. Nice. Perfect. Takes the ball at its highest point.
That's wrong. Firstly, I fucking hate that because that is wrong. You can't take the ball at its highest point unless you're on a fucking crane. The apex of the parabola is like 30 metres in the air.
Apex of the parabola.
Well, that's what it fucking is. You kick a ball, it goes up and it comes down. That's the apex. You're not taking the ball up there. You're taking the ball at your highest point. Sweet, yeah, sweet. Not at the fucking. Taking the ball at the highest point is the dumbest thing that gets said on commentary. I think.
So people do. Yeah, so we
People say
absolutely
it's
need to get
fucking
rid of
wrong.
that.
Okay.
Oh, what, the bloke,
Right.
you can jump 30 metres, can you? Bullshit, you can.
You've just dropped five
angry.
swear words
Yep,
off the back.
so
of that.
angry.
Sorry, I got to a 10 then. I'm meant to be at a 7 and I got to a 10. It grinds my gears.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
This one is describing a player as you know who. I guess that's just like,
You know who?
yeah.
Okay.
Voldemort.
Okay, so it's, McGovern to Barras, kicks out, running on the wing, you know who.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Lewis Jetta. Or
Lewis
I don't know,
Jetta, yeah,
blah, blah,
perfect.
blah.
Yep. And then gut running is the last one.
I'll tell you what, this bloke, he's got a real... This guy's got a real reputation inside the four walls of being a real gut runner. He just goes all day, this
Fuck,
kid.
he's had to run off the field. He's run down to the rooms. His guts are running. He'll be back in 5. He shit his guts out his ass.
How does that work? You guys have had guys going off the ground for a shit?
Nah, you don't need to shit. Masto did it once, actually. He had diarrhea.
Unless
and
you're
had to go
sick,
out
you
and
don't need to go for a poo while you're playing game.
No, your adrenaline kicks in. You're not just... You're in fight or flight. You're not running off. Oh, hang on a minute.
20-minute mark, you're like, time to go grab a coffee and grab some newspaper.
Actually
No.
need to quickly poo. That doesn't happen very
That's
often.
never
in the
happened.
game
So
of football.
this tweet also says, please add yours. Now, that's obviously a question without
Outstanding.
notice. Outstanding's yours. I don't like when they talk about guys' motor.
Their motor, big motor.
Yeah, that's just
Got a big
classic
motor.
Angus Brayshaw motor.
I had another one which I was assessing my own performance just in my head, and I kept saying, outstanding was one of them, and then I think maybe the standard or something. It's really setting the standard.
Yeah, like that. Also, the other one, which I think they tried to outlaw a couple of years ago, but they persist with it, is lowering the eyes.
Yeah.
That's got to go.
Yeah, because you're not you're just looking straight ahead, aren't you?
Lowering the eyes is just kicking short.
Yep.
It's like instead of kicking long, kick short. That's
I
what
want
lowering
to
the
know
eyes mean.
who claimed lowers the, because someone started that 5 years ago, I reckon. Some person, and the trend's caught on. This morning on the Shelter Footycast, Scoey, you and Skeet actually broke down the Eagles Dockers game in a proper way, not talking about needing to shit and things like that, and calling people the right names.
Yes. Let's see if we use any of these commentary terms.
Yeah,
because I don't know what we're going to show here.
The best thing that I saw from the Freo Dockers, and this is something you can take out of a match sim, their connection from their midfield to their forward line.
Look good.
Like multiple times. The pressure's real, so you get that upward tick in pressure. and they connected so many times with a player out, and whether it was work done behind the footy, whether it was the delivery for the midfielders, whether it was the work done by the forwards in the contest, that they looked really good, and that's something that you can work on a whole pre-season, and then when you can deliver it, it's a big improvement, because they had issues last year with being able to do that, and I thought it was really good, and their ball movement was pretty good too.
Dan's just got up, and can we flash to Dan's seat because it's not there? He's just had to quickly go for a poo.
He's gone for a poo.
So
Here
he's
he
just gone
comes.
for a quick shit.
What have you just picked
He's
up
just got
there?
the toilet roll. He's brought it back with him.
Now, that was a shoulder footy cast. So
Yeah.
if you do like a little bit more analytics side of things, that'll be over there. Mark Reddings and myself, sometimes Hamish as well.
Did you talk about the fact that Andrew had like 400 touches in the first quarter?
No, we
He
didn't have
was
stats. We didn't have stats.
Oh, that hurt, but he was pretty good. He lit it up early.
So he and Fifey had bulk
Yeah,
touches,
they had
but
bulk touches.
realised without stats, look, they're not the most important because it was probably good we were just calling how we felt. We did single out both of those guys as playing well,
yeah.
but didn't know that Fifey had 20 in the first half.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking good. And this Grape, shit.
You opened the entire thing.
I know,
That's
it
on
does
you,
smell
buddy.
excellent.
What do you
These are meant to have like a
sorry.
calf life of a week or
What are you
something.
meant to do?
A car
What do you
life.
mean, open
You
it?
just like tear the little thing a little bit. It seeps a little bit of grape out.
Yep.
So I've just like, it's like,
So hang on.
what's
hang
the
on.
best way to describe it?
It's so okay.
It's
wh-
like
while you're-
opening the damn wall all at once. So like
Yeah.
imagine you've got
Floodgates open.
floodgates are open. You know, and have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Gushing.
You seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Lord of the Rings 2, when the Ents push the dam down and it like floods Isengard, the first little one that goes, that's just the tear.
Right.
But then when it just got opens up, that's what I've done with the grape.
But
So
you
I've-
telling me that plastic satchel it was in?
It's there for a purpose.
Oh.
Yeah. So on the back of the
Yeah, but
the Smelly Tree brand, right?
I've got it down
There
there.
are levels on the plastic where you slide it down bit at like 1
Yeah.
week at a time, and
So you're
it's-
meant to have a piece of plastic hanging off your thing.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
never done that in my life. It's always
That's
exactly
why
like that.
yeah, well,
get
that's why
1
it
week of
runs
smell.
out. Yeah, you get like 4 weeks if you do it properly.
If there's anyone listening or watching that's completely
Nah, serious.
brain blown in half,
Yeah.
are you boys buying the thing? Is anyone?
No,
Never heard
that's
that?
how you do it.
Yeah.
Nick, have you heard it?
Yeah, he
Hang
knew
on.
that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Hey?
there
You
you
did you? Don't nod your head as if you knew.
I knew.
No, he just said, "Don't nod your head if you."
No,
knew."
it's yeah. Because at the moment I'm just getting fierce grape. I feel like a Gatorade.
I'm rattled. I'm
that's
rattled by
that's
that.
my favorite.
Let us
Second
know.
by watermelon.
Let us know in the comments, please, if I'm just on an island by myself here. But I
Yeah.
feel like the room, it's
Just turn the thing over and read. It's like it's got instructions. They're rules. That's
Okay.
why rules are great because they
Thank you.
make things.
I need
better.
to do it because I fart heaps in the car. I just feel like as soon as I'm out and about, it's nothing, and then I get in the car and I got 10 ready to go. I just
Do you ever get back in the car after a day of work?
it's
and you're like, oh, it still
disgusting. Yeah,
lingers.
no, it's
Oh,
not even
right.
lingers.
How are we going on
It makes
this?
me feel.
It's in
How
the
are we going on?
seat.
How are we going on this content?
It's in
Do you
the
think?
fibers.
The thing we spoke about from how do you think we're going?
I'm at a 6. But just before continuing on the stepping back in the car, I remember when you've been you're married.
I've been married. I'm still out.
You are still married. I've got a girlfriend. In the early stages of courting and
Yep.
getting to know your partner,
Yep.
like I can now fart pretty comfortably and like whatever, sweet, good luck with it. Deal with that. But in
you're
the early
filthy.
stages of courting, like, because I'm a pig, I'm disgusting.
Yep.
You have to curb that. Like, fall in love and then, deal with the rest of me. And farting was massive. And so, like, you'd go and spend, like, you'd spend a night, you'd chill out, you'd have, dinner or whatever, and you're just sitting there and it's like, your stomach is fucking churning and, like, you can't even piss properly because if you go too hard pissing, you just fart. Anyway, I'm just doing whatever I can to hold it in and get in the car, and I'm just no shit. I would have actually had like 30 seconds continuous. I could have broken. I'm hammer brakes, broke a world record. Wish I had filmed how long I farted for getting in the car after those early times, because it would have been close to a minute of consecutive and continuous.
There
like
you go.
the fireworks going off. Chinese New Year.
Thank you, Hamish. Thank
Oh.
you, Hamish.
I got to a 10 then.
You know, it actually it
Far
like
out.
seeps out of your pores
You
when you
are
hold it for
hopeless.
too
It's
long.
disgusting.
Please don't join in with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, keep
Please.
going.
Now, some big news. We don't usually dive into the commercial space of news
Of anything.
of anything
Yep,
really.
no.
But
And we haven't doubled. We'll continue
Yeah,
on.
you were going to go back to the farting.
Oh no, I was going to say we haven't really confirmed
Yeah.
that we can use this, but I think
Oh, who cares?
I think we can. The Woolworths CEO stepped down.
what we're about to
this week?
speak about comes from the very top.
Yeah,
Very top of Woolworths.
that's why we're
stood
walking
down.
on eggshells a bit.
Look, do we know why he stood down? No, we don't. I think we may have got to the bottom of
May
it.
have a
So an
clue.
exclusive
Yeah.
here at BackChat Studios. As you know, the Tasmanian team will be releasing its name, its colours, its song, all of that
Pretty
stuff
soon.
over the next few weeks. We've
Mountaineers.
come to no,
The
we
Salmons.
can't do that anymore. We're voted in the Salmons.
Yep, the Salmons have been voted in.
All
So
right.
suck
Yeah,
them.
we're happy
This
to
is
have.
like when Guy Sebastian won Australian Idol. It should have been Shannon Knoll.
Well, so Shannon Knoll's porn star.
Shannon Hole.
Right. Shannon Knoll's still loved.
Yeah,
Right? We love
correct.
Shannon Knoll still. But he's just not the winner of Australian Idol.
He's probably not as big as Guy, is he?
Right. So
Like
you can have a
up,
mountain
yeah.
in the background of the Tassie Salmons, but we're going with the Tassie Salmons. And I do believe we have got to the bottom
We've
of
got a
why
sign.
the Woolworths CEO has been sacked.
Yeah.
He's been overproducing signs of Tassie Salmons.
Tasmanian salmon.
We've
We've got a roll of about 1,000 of these.
10,000?
10,000, 5,000 stickers. So, I mean, I may as well just read it. Tasmanian salmon, 460 grams, skin on, fresh, never frozen. 4-pack, pan fry 12 minutes, oven 14 minutes.
How do they know how big the piece of salmon's going to be before they put it in the thing?
460 grams.
Well, I feel like
maybe
it would
they
They cut to
size.
460.
It
Yeah,
would be
that
very,
makes
very,
plenty of sense.
very silly to print to what you've cut. Imagine that having to 486 grams,
So, we're
460 grams.
very happy to announce, and of course we've been highly sponsored on this show since
Yeah.
the very get-go. Some great sponsors, Fleet Network being one of those.
Of course.
Whipping Up Whisky, Shelter Brewing Co. A lot of great partners of ours can now happily announce that Tasmanian salmon, thanks to Woolworths, will be a part of the podcast for as long as
Really?
we can put stickers on things
Yep.
from this
Yeah,
roll
as long as
stickers.
we don't get in
If
trouble.
you want one of these stickers,
We got a few of
We
them.
literally have 5,000 of
yeah,
them.
we got a lot.
So please contact us, BackChat _ on Instagram. Also,
We always hit the big news here.
yeah, of course. Now, if you do want one, I don't know how we're going to get it out to you, but just let us know if you want one.
We'll figure it out.
figure it out later.
Yeah.
Look, like we're live on YouTube. I don't know if I've mentioned that.
I
a
can
few
probably
times.
get more too. So,
But
if
we
get
are-
inundated with Tassie salmons. We'll get some more.
Well, if the CEO,
If you want some skin ons as opposed to skin offs, maybe.
Oh, nice.
okay, all right, we'll
Anyway.
come back to that. Now we want to obviously give some homage to the events that have happened in the past. Now, recently,
That is the funniest segue into talking about the wrestling.
Let's
that's
talk
happened on Saturday
wrestling.
I've ever heard.
Pay
We want
some
to pay some homage.
to events that have happened in the past.
In
It
Perth.
sounds like something
Yeah.
you put on a biscuit.
a biscuit.
Yeah, a bit of
reminiscing
homage
on
and
the, reminiscing on the 2000
Oh,
Olympics. Like, let's pay some homage.
2024 is a big
Anyway.
year. I saw Paul Persick on Sunrise.
He was excited.
Very excited. Very good clip of that. Hammer, you were at the wrestling.
How was it?
How
I
was
there.
it?
You could have. I'll tell you how we could have tightened that a bit.
Yep.
You could have said, "Hey Hammer, the wrestling was on the weekend. How was it, mate?"
We're paying homage. It
Pay
was
it.
good. I loved it. I was
dressed up.
I was a wrestling fan as a kid and loved it. Like would sprint home from school. School finished at the bell was 3:30. WWE Raw and SmackDown. Raw on Wednesday, SmackDown on Friday started at 3:30.
on like Fox 8.
On Fox 8, yep. But there would be a minute or two of commercials. I lived 300 metres away. And so I would have my bag. As soon as the bell rung, I would sprint home to try and get there before the very
So
start.
this was a life moment.
This was a life moment for me. I'd always dreamed about going. Sitting there, Elimination Chamber. It was awesome. Loved it. The action was great. I didn't know many of the wrestlers. I saw Randy Orton there, and he gave an RKO or
Triple
two.
H?
Triple H, obviously, the king. Loved it.
Who won the Elimination Chamber?
Who won the Elimination Chamber
yeah, who
was
won?
Drew McIntyre. I remember
Who's
watching.
that?
Drew McIntyre's a Scottish lad. He's
Oh,
fucking
Rowdy
huge.
Piper.
Not Rowdy Roddy Piper. Drew McIntyre, his name is. He is a big man. He won. Randy Orton. Logan Paul came in and hit Randy Orton with the brass knuckles at the end. And
Oh, cheap.
cheap shot. Yep.
Dang it.
After Randy eliminated him. So that was pretty disappointing. But it was awesome. Rhea Ripley was the women's champion. She won in the main event.
Again.
She's an Adelaide girl.
Wow.
And it was just like it blew the house down.
It's
Everyone
almost like
she
it was scripted.
yeah,
Like,
it
for
was
the-
almost like it was scripted, but
it's-
it wasn't, and it was awesome.
Great.
The only
But what, do you
disappointing
have trouble with that element of it? It sounds like you're being a bit sarcastic with it.
I used to love wrestling. Happy that it's scripted. It's entertaining. It's great.
Good, okay.
Love it.
yeah, the only thing that was disappointing was that The Rock wasn't there.
Was
They
he
did a
meant to
lot
be?
of
Thought he was-
teasing.
Thought he was coming.
They did a lot of teasing, and to be fair, they're in the business of entertainment. They're there to sell tickets, and they probably sold an extra 5. They got my ticket.
If
I
the-
wasn't going to go.
Yeah, but
and then,
if The Rock was coming, they would have made a bigger deal about it because then if The Rock was coming, 60,000 people would have been there.
they had this teaser thing that went out on the WWE Instagram, and it was like talking about Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins
Don't go
talking
too
shit
far into
about
detail
talking
about
shit
this,
about The Rock.
please.
And it was basically The Rock on camera saying, if you hear these guys talking shit about me, let me know because I'll be on the first plane to Perth. And it was like, I'm not coming, but I'm not going to be there, but
shit.
yeah, they were always going to
people
talk
were
shit.
well,
Were
he's
you waiting
coming.
for like a crowd pop?
They
Like
did, and they teased it on the night. It was like so many times where they were like, wait, and they just gave little pauses would have been perfect for The Rock's music.
We'll
to
see.
Have you anyway, it would have been awesome,
Paul
but
Percy back in the house now.
but it never happened.
Now the fireworks were very loud,
Oh yeah, they were.
like very loud,
Yeah, and
as
all-
loud
and
as I've
constant.
ever heard.
It was
you
like
take a
me
sign?
farting getting back in the car. It was really good.
Did you take a sign?
No, I
That's
didn't.
like a
but
wrestling thing. Why
there was
didn't you?
a lot of people because it was a late notice. I didn't really want to hold a sign up. There was a lot of people with
Thought
like
you were a fan.
replica belts. That they were selling them there for like $750. The amount, I reckon 1 in 20 people that I saw there had a proper replica belt on. Anyway, there's a photo of me. I went with
You stole one.
Josh Rotham, Sam Rotham, and Stan Wright. We were there in the crowd. Someone, let's grab a photo, boys. Dude, just down there had a proper replica belt, and I was like, hey mate, do you mind if I just borrow that for this photo? Yeah, sure, for it. Go for it. I've just got the full WWE belt above it. It was awesome. Best belt ever, and I had a great time.
There you go.
I'm going to get the photo up.
So you didn't take a sign, but there was. We did see this in the crowd.
Look at this.
Harley 316.
That's elite.
Shout out to that guy there in the West Coast. He's wearing a West Coast
West Coast
jumper
full
as well.
jumper.
He had
Don't
the
know if
Harley
that's appropriate.
316.
Look at that World Championship belt.
Show 'em.
It's pretty tough to see.
That's okay. It's
And
okay.
and
Yeah,
and
Feels good to send that through before.
there's also the other sign which I think was very.
Got to be honest. I don't care about the wrestling. We've talked about it enough.
No, I just wanted this
It
one
was
more
in
sign.
Perth.
Show one more sign.
Show us a sign.
I hope.
We heard you talk about Josh Emmett for 5 minutes. Give Dan a spell.
But he plays football for Fremantle. And they
Yeah,
can't
well,
even
Harley
get the
plays
second
football
photo
for
up.
West
That's
Coast.
right.
Photo up
The second
Yeah,
sign.
is it
second
going to be
sign
really
was,
funny? Is it going to be really funny? I hope it's good.
It was Dom Sheed kicking the goal from the boundary.
Wow,
that's pretty funny.
Can we see it?
It's such a
It's
such
the
a bad
blurriest thing I've
quality
ever
photo.
seen.
Oh, that's
Great.
good.
I'm glad we
That was
saw
funny. Yeah,
Alright,
I like the wrestling.
Let's make that the last time we talk about wrestling on the podcast because I think it's been a big deal in Perth. They've taken over the media and they've
Yep.
done what they're meant to do. No one really
Yeah.
cares.
It's true.
Sure.
Let's move on.
If you smell, then the Rock,
Rock
comes in on the podcast.
Kicks your candy ass.
BackChat.
He'd be good.
Oh, boy. Okay. Now, Nick thought it'd be really fun if we watched the video together. Now, I've got this. Nick, can you just bring
And
this
when
up
we
now?
say together,
Yeah, you,
not just us.
me, Hammer, and everyone else watching on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're not watching on YouTube, BackChat Studios,
You might
search
watch
it, have a look. If you're watching live, you can see it right now or watch it later. Now, before the preseason tournament, whatever it's called now, the Amy Community Cup,
Yep.
Is that what it's called? Is it Amy now?
I'm not sure.
whatever the community thing is, it used to be called.
for a bit there.
Yep, that I think the Ansett had it for a bit. It used to be called the Wizard
Yeah,
Cup.
bring back the Wizard
Is
Cup.
the knockout comp.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, this was actually not
Carlton
just.
used to always win it.
I played in
Really?
the grand final of the Wizard Cup and we lost to Adelaide.
So how did that work? That wasn't just.
It was like pools of teams, and like we ended up on the top of a pool, and then ended up
Swimply.
at grand final. Yes,
Swimply
some of
to
them were
the
swimming in a pool. Swimply to bear. Now we ended up like against Adelaide at the at Adelaide.
Yep.
What was it called?
Amy Park.
Amy Park.
Amy
football
Park.
football park.
Footy Park, yep.
Yep.
Lost, got done, and there was money on the line. I remember no one cared if we won or lost, other than the fact we were going to get paid like decent money to play, and to win, and we didn't get it done.
This is from 2005. This is just before you here. This is the year that West Coast make the grand final.
Big Q stick, if you don't mind.
Quinton
And some of the
Lynch
highlights from this. So
sausage.
there's
Look at the
45,000
crowd here.
45,000 people at Telstra Dome. Chris
Judd.
Judd is taking the absolute. You're on
P1
Oh,
double S.
Hanson. Andrew Embley. Gives back to Judd.
Juddy, Gun.
See this?
Oh, is that a super goal?
Super goal.
Oh, 9-pointer.
In the orange, and he points at the line. There was 2 goal umpires. Brent Staker's getting done.
The long sleeves.
Fev.
Favola's playing.
He'll know. He'll jag
Eddie
that one.
Maguire's commentating.
He can kick us
Oh.
off. That's Fev.
That's good.
There's 2 goal umpires.
Look at the crowd. See this quality of game. The crowd. We need this.
This is
right?
a proper grand finals.
And this is a pre-season game.
There wouldn't be a crowd like this.
Classy.
Let's just cop the boot in the stomach.
Ash Hansen goes long. Drew.
Oh!
Lappin. That was Matty slapping with short sleeves on. He had no long sleeves. I've never seen him without sleeves.
Juddy,
Juddy.
fuck, he could play.
That was on
man.
David Teague. Teague's on the ground.
He could fucking.
Oh my God, Lance Whitnell's out there.
Listen to
Who
him.
was that? Who's number 20?
Was Chris Judd the best player ever?
Oh,
Look at
Like,
him.
was he actually just the world's greatest player? I think he might be.
Gardy. Michael Gardner. It's still going. This is good. This is good footage. Darren Glass. There's 6 points. The difference.
He's coughed
Oh,
it
that's
up.
a 9-pointer too. That's a good old-fashioned 9-pointer.
The crowd's going. Listen to the
Wowee.
crowd.
Ian Pendergrass kicked that.
Ian Prendergast. Wow.
Sausage.
They're taking the piss now. Favola's
Fev's
just
just
hit
hit
a
a
goal
talk.
square.
How are the scenes here when they win? This is absolute.
So I reckon there'd be a fair bit of money on the line here because people are trying.
Yeah, there would have to be quite a bit of money on the line.
Look at the Carlton. Lance Rittenell's giving it to the crowd.
This is a pre-season game, mind
so
you.
let you tell you, this is 2005 pre-season.
Oh, the cup.
Dennis Pagan, Anthony Koutafiti's holding up the cup. Where did Carlton finish at the end of this year?
They would have finished bottom.
16.
They
finished
won the
dead
wooden
last.
spoon.
Yeah.
West Coast made the grand final. They're singing the song. Camporelli's up there. That's some amazing footage.
So that's great footage, but there's some serious cash on the line there.
Is there any way? Because what
We
we're
need to
seeing
bring
right
this
now,
back, right?
there's just no way it's
6
coming
periods and all the rest
back. The
of
only
it.
way to make that come back
Is
is to
cash.
have huge cash incentives.
Yeah.
Massive cash
But
incentive.
okay, so don't you think though, like after we watch West Coast and Freo play Adelaide and each other, like, do you really get is it really
It used to
good
be 4
footy?
games. There used to be 4
yeah,
pre-season
4
games.
pre-season games.
Yeah,
Pretty stiff they're making the 2 West Australian teams travel in a
Well, they
pre-season
didn't have
game.
to travel last year. It's flipped. So
Yeah.
last
Right.
year, last year Adelaide had to travel, and this year West Coast.
Is
had to travel.
is it a player
Just
thing?
make the
like
interstate teams travel. Make
player
the Melbourne
union,
teams travel.
like
out.
less games. They're trying to put less games into the players or something like that. Like why couldn't you have a good little
That-
preseason
Yeah,
tournament?
so the CBA has been negotiated. There's only a certain amount of games that you can play. I think the intensity and contact of regular season has gone up from 2005. Like, that's close
Yep.
to 20 years ago.
Yeah, true.
I still think Chris Judd's the best player ever by just looking
Those
at that.
I
highlights.
think the boy looks a little bit like him. That's
I think
what
he
I'm
does,
saying.
yep. Imagine the boy comes back with just a completely shaved head. The chrome
So is the
dome.
question, should we bring that back?
Yeah, like
How
what-
good would that... So if West Coast played Collingwood, let's just say we brought it back next year. West Coast has a blinder because they've got all these young kids and they're playing them. Collingwood make the grand final. They have it here.
Optus 60,000.
Would you get 50
Yeah, at a
reckon
pre-season
you'd get
grand
50
final.
too.
Yeah, I reckon you'd get 50
against a big
easily.
Melbourne side?
Why not?
Should we make it happen?
We should make that happen. I
Should
think
Tassie Salmon make it? Imagine if the Tassie Salmons made it.
Salmons.
that first game.
I don't hate the idea of having
It'd
a
be
grand
huge.
final. You'd have to have a lot of cash on the line, though. So the
Heaps
players
of cash,
Because
yeah,
when we
heaps
were in
of
the grand
cash.
final, we knew there was money on
So
the
how
line.
much are we talking? How much of a is
It
a
was
player
like,
going to
I
get?
think it was like, let's call it 100 grand, right?
Yep.
So like as players, you're getting $5,000 a piece.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a fair bit of money.
Nice little weekend
Yeah,
away.
for like the young lads, like let's
Yeah.
win, boys.
Yeah,
like
that's
Lance
huge.
Whitnell looked like he punted on Carlton at the same time. It was that.
Yeah,
up and
Lance
down.
Whitnell had a 24-leg multi that finished with them winning.
Now, if the Tassie Salmons come to Perth for a pre-season game,
I'll
like
be
this,
there with
we'll
bells on,
absolutely
yeah.
be
Gotcha.
there. And I think we should also buy memberships for the Tassie Salmons.
Yep, I think we should.
Is that like you don't want
I'm
you don't
going
want a
to.
membership?
I mean, are they going to be good?
Nah, it's...
Or are we just going to support the new team?
We'll support the new team. It's going to be tough to find imagine the Tassie Salmons BackChat backman. That'll be huge.
Dower. I can just
Yeah.
imagine some bloke coming out of the Tassie leagues that's been
With
playing
salmons
the back
for
for the
fist.
last 10 years.
Might be Alex Pearce.
Could be
That's
Big
a good
Moose, yeah.
point. I was actually just getting there like some like a long-haired Adonis, aka
Alex Pearce. There you go.
The big moose.
We could back them in. I would happily pay.
He'll be 35 years old when they
when they
Yeah,
finally
that's
get a
fine.
team, yeah.
That's fine.
Dower.
Veteran
Dower.
leadership. He's got a couple of premierships under his belt.
Yep.
It's a no for me for the membership.
It's a no. For you
Okay,
for
sure.
membership?
I'm not
Okay.
going to be a member either then.
How much?
No, I will be. I definitely will be.
Just
So the Tassie Salmons are my team.
Question for you, Hannah. How much do you think an AFL membership costs?
Well, it depends, mate. If you're a junior Roo, which I was back then in the day, it was like $29.99 a year for a junior membership. at North Melbourne.
$29?
Yeah, $29 for a junior Roos membership or something.
What did
it
you
was.
get
Did
for that?
Did you get a seat?
Nah, I didn't get nothing. You
got
got
a
some
pencil
stickers.
case.
You got some stickers and a scarf in the bag, and then you got your little membership. And then it goes up to like
I feel like we're talking about seats here.
No, we're talking proper. Like
Ah.
I'm going to every home game seat.
$500.
500.
Yeah.
Well,
I looked at Fremantle's membership today, and I was flabbergasted at the cost.
flabbergasted.
I made
Hamish.
Dan guess, and he had no idea.
I guess $500.
Oh, I went
Although
way
Dan went
overs.
$1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So you said overs, so you've given away why I'm flabbergasted.
Oh,
So
is
you
it
just-
cheap?
you
It's
just
cheap,
thought
is
that.
it?
It's cheap.
It is.
It's cheap.
Wow. Okay.
we got
what are
some. We got
talking?
some prices
cheap.
here from a few clubs. Now let's
Freo.
start. Let's start with Freo. $250
Season
season pass.
Seat. Reserve seat,
All
$250.
games.
Wow.
Is that pretty good?
That's phenomenal.
I think it's very
Or
good.
to buy a seat on its own at Optus, well, if you're going to a West Coast game, they charge you like $800.
So AFL clubs, be warned, just feel free to use this across your marketing. We're about to give free credit to any
plugs.
supporters that are listening.
Freo Dockers, sign up.
Well,
Fucking hell.
They're not the
Sign
cheapest,
up today.
Bullshit.
if you can believe. Well, of course
North
not.
Melbourne
This-
will be.
No, wrong. This one, and I love it because of the name, is the Sun Screamer.
Wait,
Can you
so
guess which club that's for?
Yep. the mighty
Screamer.
Gold Coast Suns. Sun Screamer.
$225 for a membership, and you get access to all
wow.
home games in the Sun Screamer section,
So
which
just
is
to clarify,
behind the goals.
Wow.
it's not the Sun Screener.
The Sun
It's
Screamer.
the Sun Screamer.
What did I say?
No,
No, you said it right. Sun
I'm
Screamer.
confirming.
Confirm
I'm
that.
just clarifying with the marketing department of the Gold Coast Suns. Is that what
Sun
we've gone with?
Screamer. That's really good.
Like it.
But there's cheaper.
Or are they playing on words with like, is it like playing on words with Screamer, like taking a screamer?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they're not playing on words with sunscreen.
No, they definitely
No.
are doing both.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you're screaming,
that?
screaming them on. You're cheering. You're a
Right.
sun screamer.
Do you think that it could possibly be a play on words with sunscreen? Now that
Definitely.
I'm mentioning
I think
Absolutely.
it's one of the
Talk to me,
great play on
Yeah.
words. The triple entendre even.
100%.
that.
If
And is there any cheaper than that?
I'm going to jump ahead to North Melbourne. I want you to guess North Melbourne's price.
$175.
Wrong. $249.
$1 cheaper than Freo.
$1
Wow, yeah,
cheaper
fair
for
enough.
you.
Yep.
Now,
Lots of excitement coming out of the North Melbourne camp this year.
yeah, always.
Is it fair
George
enough?
Wardlaw, yep, fair enough.
You could just rock up and get a seat at Etihad.
Harry
or whatever it's
Harry Sheasel,
Okay, based on all of
Anyone
these
Colby
amounts,
McKercher,
based on all these amounts, I want you to take a punt
Colby.
at Collingwood for membership.
$285.
$285.
Yeah.
Well, $245. It's actually cheaper to be a Collingwood member than a North Melbourne member.
For general
Do you
admission access to all home games at the MCG and Marvel Stadium, priority access to purchase a ticket to weeks 1 to 3 of finals, which is something
Yep.
North Melbourne
That's
fans
huge.
don't really
Don't
have
have to
you
worry
don't have
about,
to put that
yeah.
in the package.
Yep.
If Collingwood FC is a participating team, I think that's pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
They do have 100,000 seats.
Yeah,
to
you have
sell too.
100,000 seats, so you
Yep.
can pretty much always get a game, unless it's a final. Yep. Okay, I like that.
Okay, now
We haven't
let's,
mentioned the.
let's go to West Coast.
Is it the Chardonnay or the Chardonnay set? Is that what they're called?
Oh, for who?
West Coast.
Collingwood.
For West
You're
Coast.
the fucking fan.
Yeah, I love Chardonnay. Unwooded Chardonnay.
Do they have a Chardonnay membership?
That's what they call
Is that what
them.
it's called?
No, they call them that, don't they? The Chardonnay set. I'm looking at everyone in this room
Nah.
is too young.
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean, you're not, and you're the
Un-
demographic.
and I love
Okay,
Chardonnay.
anyway,
There you go.
continue. What's West Coast at?
So you can't actually buy a membership for West
yeah,
Coast.
no, you can't. You have to
Sold
go on a
out.
wait list, yep.
So it's in the wings. Apparently, that's what it's called.
Yep.
Now
That's another play on words, Will.
There is a way you can get access as a member to West Coast. I want to tell you how much that's going to cost you.
It's the Chardonnay.
This
set.
is what you get.
That's what they call the fans. You.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The Chardonnay set, because you're a bit.
Yeah, so this one would be
Don't mind
like the exclusive.
So it's located on level 2 north. It's
okay.
fully inclusive gourmet food, premium beverages, provides an excellent space to impress guests and enjoy the game from some of the best seats in the house.
Is this the lowest
space
level?
is where a casual. This is the only level that you can get. This space is where a casual stand-up environment meets the opulence of an upmarket sports bar.
They've used a word.
Guernseys are
opulence.
permitted, but must be worn on top of an acceptable clothing item, such as a collared shirt.
They can't. They don't let you wear the jumper without sleeves, which I
looks-
agree with.
Yeah.
I agree with.
Unless you're under 10 years old.
You can't be an adult, male or female with nothing on under a top in public.
No, you can't. What if you're wearing long sleeves?
Yeah, that's
Long
okay.
sleeve one.
That's a good point.
Anyways,
How much does that set us
full
back?
kit wanker. I reckon that would set you back it'd be no cheaper than 1,500.
That's correct.
yeah,
That is correct. You're spot on. It's no cheaper than that.
Yeah.
you've just won the Price is Right.
What is it, like $3.5 grand or something?
Keep going.
Are you kidding me? $5 grand.
$4,500.
$4,500.
Oh my god.
$4,000.
Club 92.
Club 92. Fucking
So
hell.
for your very
So you can
small
get.
fortune,
I'm going to go to a 10 real quick. Club 92. You pay $4.5 grand to go into level 2 and just jack yourself off watching the Eagles for fucking 12 games a year while they get the shit kicked out of them.
You get food.
Fucking hell! Spend $4.5 grand to wipe
You
your own
get
ass.
food.
$4.5 grand to wipe your own ass with a gourmet sausage.
You don't correct.
Fucking hell!
You don't correct Hammer. Yeah, how do you get food?
Yeah, fucking hell! Wow!
Let's hear
How
from
many of them
Fleet.
are they selling?
You
Hear from Fleet
It'd be
Network
good to
now.
negotiate with before you hear from the Fleet.
I'd love to see the Eagles marketing department on the corner of Optus with this big sign, the merchandise spitting
sign for
$4.5 grand, Club 92. Wipe your ass with a fucking creme brulee. Oh,
It would be great to
boy.
negotiate with the sales team at
Oh,
West
yeah.
Coast and say, look,
Get it, bring.
I-
Let's do a demo. I'll be the West Coast sales team. You can be someone buying. Hello, it'll be $4.5 grand.
okay, I see your $4.5 grand.
Yeah.
Could we maybe do a deal where every time you lose, you take an
Yeah.
amount off.
Like that.
No, because we've got 400,000 people waiting. Go and fuck yourself.
You get yourself an Isuzu car that I've got. It's fucking great.
The D-Max.
Yeah, the D-Max, Isuzu D-Max. You go, all right, here's your Isuzu D-Max. Fleet Network. If you don't know already and you would like to know, it'll save you money. It'll help your budget. And you can get one of the cars that you want to get and drive around. I don't like cars. I just need somewhere to get from point A to point B. Fleet Network can do that for you while saving you money if you are employed by anybody.
Yep.
That is a qualification you need. You need to be an employee.
I'm one of those.
You could be an employer and it could help you, but employees, you go to Fleet Network, they sort your shit out, and then you get yourself a car, a brand new one.
Yeah, you novated yourself a lease and you're away.
You literally, you just give it over to Frank and the boys. They handle it with your employer.
Everything. There's apps.
great.
You put expenses through there. They pay you back your money. It's all inclusive. You pay one fee for the month. So I don't know. You get down there. You get yourself an Isuzu car that I've got. It's fucking great.
The D-Max.
Yeah, the D-Max, Isuzu D-Max. You go, all right, here's your Isuzu D-Max. They say, here's the amount of money you need to pay a month. That's all we heard from you. That's all she wrote. There's the money.
Drive away,
There's
no
the
more
car.
to pay. Shit,
Well,
yeah.
there's some to pay.
There's obviously more to pay. It's an ongoing lease. That's the whole point.
You know what though? Last week I got my
Drive away, no more to pay until next month. You have to pay again.
I got my car serviced, so
Idiot.
I'm not with Fleet Network right now, and I'm
Yes.
working towards getting a fleet service.
Yes.
When I got my car service, I dropped it off, did all that stuff. The guy was showing me all these forms. I was like, how much am I going to pay? He's like, do you want an extra $45? The oil thing. I was like, man, I don't know anything about this. I should just be with Fleet
Bundle
Network.
it all in one cost and give it to me.
Exactly.
But pay this. You got to pay this. So you send some money here.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. I'm going to call Frank and the boys.
Fleetnetwork.com.au to choose your next vehicle and leave the rest to their dedicated team of experts.
What a fucking ad that is.
Great
How
ad.
good's that? I've never watched that.
If you're one of
gonna
those
enjoy that
people
every
who,
week.
if you're one of those people who are listening to a podcast and then gets the ads and you just go skip, go
And
back
you
and
just go back and listen to
go
that.
back and listen to that. Firstly, because obviously Fleet Network are doing great things and go and overset yourself a lease. But
Frankie and Gareth and
secondly,
boys.
that's pretty fucking funny, I think.
This year we are back in Backman because we do it every time and we
Yep.
bloody love Backman.
Yeah, we do.
So did I say the word Backman enough in that?
Yep,
Well,
just.
Backman.
BackChat.
BackChat, Backman. We are sponsoring defenders this year, and we've been going through all the clubs. We've been picking the defender that we're going to sponsor.
Well, we're going to sponsor just Jack Buckley, but we didn't think there was enough love to give the defence.
Yeah, and he also had a real life sponsor
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
in the world.
That's
Who
right.
was sponsoring him.
You know what? We're sponsoring him anyway.
Oh yeah, we are.
And-
He'll get a hat.
and some.
You wait till the Tassie Salmon start up. We'll have
Oh, boy.
every backman in the defence, and then they'll know what's happening.
We are up because we're doing this alphabetically. We're up to Richmond. So let's kick you off with some names, and you guys can decide which Backman we're going to go for.
Great.
Sure.
Okay.
let's
First
do it.
one off the top, Dylan Grimes.
Good player. Good player. Good player.
Captain of the team.
Yep. He's a very good player.
Look, and he's a dower operator.
He is.
Took over from Alex Rance really when Rancey hung them up, but he was doing things before that clearly.
Yeah.
I think we've started with a pretty
I've
strong
got my
candidate.
eyes on someone in this back line.
At the
so
moment, he's the best we've heard from Richmond.
definitely.
Nick Vlauston.
Nick Flaston.
Too much flash.
Too good.
Too good.
Once again,
Flashton.
too good.
I think they're-
Nick
yeah.
Flashton, that's
Yeah.
right.
Great.
Nick
What about
Flashton, he's like
He's a good player.
good player, strong, willing.
Runs off half back, get intercepts, and then just goes bang.
Not
Good
our
player.
sort of guy.
Not
Great
our, not
player.
our operator.
not our guy? What about Noah Bolter?
Or Noah Bolter's our guy.
Is that who you're looking at?
Noah
We need
Bolter.
another frosty operator, do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. This is. Let me sum up Noah Bolter. Big,
Set the scene.
tall, athletic, and just. I mean, I don't really know Noah that well, so I don't know his IQ off the top of my head. But it's not gonna be massive. Like just a real.
Just fine.
Solid defender who is just gonna just kill the ball. He's the guy that
Do you?
remember that time when he had the set shot and it was against Freo, I think, and it was just like the time ran out and then he just kicked it into the man on the mark because that's him. He's like lining up for a set shot but took 45 seconds and didn't realize what he was doing.
So
Just
Can
a
I-
solid defender who is not overly football
Can I
smart.
just give you something to think about?
Of course.
I believe he's been training as a bit of a forward this year.
Okay, well then
Ooh.
I'll take
And he has been known to go forward as a player.
Sure. Okay, well then I'll put that in the back pocket.
But I'm very happy to take him on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because
I like Dylan Grimes.
Grimes's a very good player, but he won't be with us forever.
He won't be. Noah Bolter can be.
may well be here forever.
He might be one of those guys that we put a caveat on. But anyway, continue. Who else
Well,
have we
we've got one more that
Proceed.
might change your mind. Jaden Short.
Well, he's a terrific young man. Met him at Hippie Club one night. It was just a fantastic night.
Say
Really
no more.
like him. Too good.
Too
Plays
good,
Too
yeah,
much
sure.
in the midfield. Too high up the ground. He's got too much of a penetrating kick. He kicks too many goals for my liking.
All right.
As the BackChat backman. I think we take on Bolter.
I like Noah Bolter. I think we
And
take on him, and
if
I
I
think
see him forward,
I think
if
the
I see him coming out of the goal square
the caveat being
as a forward,
he can't be a forward for more than
1/4.
1/4. No, not.
They
not-
can swing him forward.
Yeah, he
to
can't-
win the
of
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to start as a backman.
He has to start as a backman
If I
firstly.
see him on the team sheet at full forward,
very first centre bounce, he has to start either on the bench or as a backman.
yes,
He
preferably on the bench.
preferably on the bench. That'd be excellent. At no point in any game can he start as he can't start in the forward. He can't start in the goal square as a forward
What if
unless it's to win the game.
What if
Very excited over there.
yeah, Nick's getting a bit excited. Look at him, he's so happy. What did you do?
I also had
loves
I
Noah
had an
Bolter.
oversight.
You're
I
hold-
forgot a player.
You're
Oh,
holding a
shit.
hammer in your.
Who'd you
in your
forget?
hand.
Nathan Broad.
Nathan Broad.
Broady.
I did tell you not to forget anyone, so you've
Look,
done well.
that's why I put my
Friend
hand
of
up.
the family.
Hand was
Yeah.
up. Friend of the fam, Nathan Broad.
Like him.
So
West
do I.
Australian.
West Australian.
I still think we were already on the Noah Bolter train.
Okay.
Does he surpass Noah Bolton? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Noah Bolter, unless he plays full forward.
Could we take Broady as a backup?
Yeah,
That's
rather
what
than
I thought
Grimes.
Grimes was going to be the guy
I
that if
think
we
Broad-
see. Okay.
I think
I
Broad
like
could be the
Broady.
backup.
All right.
Broady's backup.
So
Done.
you're on notice, Noah Bolter?
Yep.
There you go.
Too
Don't
much
play.
time on the full
Don't
night?
play forward.
Okay.
You'll be under review.
Let's move to St Kilda. Callum Wilkie.
Callum.
Australian last year.
Yeah, he's a good player.
So what happened to Callum Wilkie was he was a Dower type operator.
He was.
No
and then
one
just-
knew who he was.
Yep.
Someone said Callum Wilkie, you wouldn't have known what he was looking at him.
Yep.
He's now turned himself into an intercepting, beats his man.
Yeah.
Almost too good.
Okay.
All Australian. Doesn't lose one-on-ones. Gun. Like,
Yeah.
could be top 5 defenders in the AFL.
Yep, he's a very good player,
so
isn't
I just hope he doesn't forget where he's come from, which is from the...
he? Dower depths of defending.
Thank you very much.
This guy might get it over the line just because of his name. Josh Battle.
Josh Battle, like him, does he have the powers that we're looking for? Maybe not. I think he runs and carries a little
I'll
bit.
tell you what else he does. He has veneers. He's a bit too much of a pretty boy. Sorry, Josh.
Oh.
Okay.
He also stole a pair of my board shorts and never gave them back.
Line through him.
Bye-bye, Josh.
Bye, Josh. Good fella. Really nice
Did
guy.
you lend them to him and then he just
I
returned
sold
them?
No, I lent him to him and he didn't give them back.
We'd
Well,
like
that's
those
your
board
fault
shorts.
for not following it up.
Board shorts back, then we'll reconsider.
Great story about the board shorts. Might tell the patrons.
Ooh,
you.
great. All right, Zane Cordy.
No.
No.
I went to school with his brother Reese. Was coached by his father Brian. His other brother Ace,
Ace, as in Ace Ventura.
as in Ace Ventura.
Pet detective.
As in Ace Cordy.
As in Ace
who
of
who
Spades.
also played AFL.
Yep. Ace of
Zane
Base.
is their younger brother. It's a no for me.
Okay, that's fine.
But he is a Dower type. Don't worry, he's a clumsy Dower type sometimes.
Okay.
I just think it's a no.
This is hurting.
How much you doing there, mate?
Scully did say that this would be sticky, and it is.
Peeling off a sticker off his head.
peeling a sticker off my head. Keep going.
Oh boy, I can't watch that. I'm hearing it though. Dougal Howard.
Yeah, Dougal Howard's our type of operator, I think, isn't he?
Wow,
Is Howard his first name or Dougal?
Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah, look, you can't often trust people with 2 first names.
Oh.
And Dougal is one of those, man.
Nah, I didn't lose too much hair. That's good.
Dougal Howard. Who do we have off the top that we really liked? Oh, well,
We got Wilkie,
Cal
Battle,
Wilkie.
Cordy,
Wilkie.
and now
Dougal
it's Dougal
Howard.
Howard.
Dougal
is-
Howard's the top.
Two
of the
more
list
to
for
go.
I think he almost led the league in fists last year. Dougal Howard's right at the top for
I
St Kilda.
the only game I ever played of AFL football, which I won, I played against St Kilda and ran through Dougal Howard.
There you go.
There
You
go.
ran into him or
Ran
through
into him and then bounced straight off him.
How about Jimmy Webster?
No, Jimmy's an intercepting type.
Sorry, Jimmy.
He's a get the ball in my hands type. He's a left footer.
Yep.
Good player, highly skilled. Not a man.
Okay, let's move straight on to the next one. Jack Sinclair.
No. Again, not
I
Jack
mean,
Sinclair.
he could be my top 5 favourite players in the AFL to watch.
Yes,
this
Gee.
man.
Yeah, he's almost St Kilda's best player, but he's not as dour as they get.
He had too many CBAs last year. He was too good. He was
too high up in All-Australian selection for us to be sponsoring him. He's an absolute star of the competition.
You can't have 30 touches and be our BackChat.
And 30 would be a quiet day for Jack Sinclair.
Yeah. So I think it's Dougal
So
Howard.
it's Dougal Howard.
Lock Dougal away.
Great.
Absolutely.
Very proud and very happy for that, Dougal.
We've got a few more teams.
Great first name.
Yeah, tremendous first name. The Mop, I used to call him.
This one's very close to Nick, obviously being a fan of the team. Sydney. We moved to Sydney now, so the names here I assume are very locked in here.
It'll be close to Nick's heart.
Very close. Let's start with number 1, Tom McCartan.
He's a dower operator. That's for damn sure. He is a dower operator.
He is brother retired.
Yep.
Brother
He's just a
of-
no fuss, get it done sort of guy.
But does he take some good marks every
He
now
does
and then?
take some good marks, yep.
Does he get the best forward every week? I think he might.
He might, yep.
But there's someone I've got my eyes on at Sydney.
Sure.
Right? So it's not Tom, although I love him.
think
Because he's
I
from
know,
Geelong.
yeah.
I will just say, looking at the list, that this person that I think you're talking about isn't on said list.
It's not the person. But I asked you not to miss anyone, so we need to talk about that person. We need
Yes.
to put him on.
Okay.
It's not him.
Second one, Dane Rampy.
Fuck.
He's a gun. He is
Sydney
a
have been
fucking gun.
Breeding players for us to
They've
sponsor
also
for the
been
last 20
breeding
years.
defenders. Like he is and has been for a long time. Just sort of like the best sort of small defender.
Yeah, but he's he plays on tall
epitome-
players.
Yeah, I know.
Gun.
But he's just a star. Anyway, love him.
Dane Rampy, if he played on another side, Dane Rampy done, yes. Tick
Yep.
box, yes, done.
Yeah.
Yep, there's too many options.
It's a no for me for Dane.
Okay.
But yeah.
Jack Lloyd.
No.
Lloyd gets too much.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Takes kick-ins, plays onto himself at all costs, get as many touches as possible. Fantastic fantasy player, fantastic footballer.
Yep.
Not our guy.
Get out of here, Jake Lloyd. What about the Pelican? Lewis Melican.
Oh, the Pelican.
I forgot about the
I do like the
Pelican.
Pelican. I
It's
think
my
the
favourite
Pelican
animal.
is not. Yeah, well, it's a tremendous animal. Have you
was-
seen it like cool its throat?
He would have been
before?
leading
Yes.
the Norm
Weird.
Smith last year when they were getting dominated. He had like 15 touches in
Yeah,
the first
he was
quarter.
fucking
Does anyone else
brilliant.
remember that? He did.
I also remember Robbie
wasn't
Fox
that
had a
brilliant.
shitload of it too, and I was on the Robbie Fox. Yeah, I got him in the sweep.
The Pelican.
The Pelican's a good one.
Very good option.
Great name.
Just runs in straight lines. That's
Yep.
all I can think of with the Pelican, and the Pelican's under consideration.
Okay, well, there's one final name for you, of
Well,
course.
there should be two, but yeah.
Joel Hamling.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Joel Hamley's my man.
Yeah.
He's come from 2 teams now. Proper dower operator.
As dour as they get.
Like proper.
Came out of the womb wearing career savers.
Correct.
He is a just no fuss.
He'll be locking down. He'll be getting the best forward. He'll be playing every week.
Goes into the barber. What do you want, Joel? Just don't care, mate. Cut something and then get me out of here.
Make it
He
shorter.
comes in, we just make it a little bit shorter, like I had last time.
Joel Hamley's our man.
Yeah.
But how do we not have the lizard on there?
Did you see
How do
his-
you not put the lizard on there?
Too flashy, too good, too quick.
Mate, you had Jake Lloyd on there, mate. What do you think, Jake Lloyd?
we also discussed this morning that Joel Hamling had to be on the list and was potentially a lock. So
Absolutely.
Did you,
I still want to talk
did
about the
anyone
lizard
see
about
that?
what he's
Yeah.
been doing
Anyone
as a
see
human
that
being.
highlight from him the other day?
Oh,
He had 3
absolutely.
touches
Watched it
around
9
goal.
times.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
I think we showed it on somewhere. Did we show it on this show?
Might have showed
I
it.
know.
On. Anyway,
So-
Joel
that's
Hamling's your
coming
guy.
Okay,
Gotta
Joel
be
Hamling's
Joel.
your guy. All
And I
right,
hope the lizard has a good year.
So do I.
absolutely.
I'd like to speak to him on this show.
Now we have 2 teams left. We were going to push this off to
Nah,
last
let's
week,
just
but you know
go.
what? Let's
Get
just
through
get
it.
through
Knock him
it.
on the head.
West Coast Eagles.
The boy. I don't even care about anyone else.
All right,
Doesn't need to be anyone else.
First
Not
one's
playing enough
first.
one.
Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah, like him. You can have some
Like
input
him.
on this. Do you like how he goes about it?
I like how he goes about it. I just want him to stay on the field.
Sure.
That's my biggest concern with Jeremy
Tough
McGovern.
to be a sponsored player on the bench. Continue.
Absolutely.
He's got a reputation of reading the footy too well for mine.
Yep. Okay. Tom Barras. Maybe one of my favourite players in the NFL.
Yeah, and
Love
he's
Tom
a
Barras.
proper
He
dour
does
type.
epitomise
He used to
the
be able to
dour.
take an intercept mark. Now he just
Fist the
literally
shit
just
out
see
of
put
it.
his head down, put his fist down. He's got a broken back. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like he's got a spinal injury.
Yep.
And he's playing through that currently.
He also just like kicks the shit out of it, which I love and respect. Just a sort of man who's not trying to hit any short kicks. He's trying to get it as far away from the back line as he can. So he's just
it's a big yes at
Yeah,
the moment.
massive
Tom
yes.
Barras.
And there was that video. You know how West Coast were just spiraling through captains last season
Yeah.
because they had injuries and stuff.
yeah.
There was that one video of Tom Barras walking out the race, leading the boys, and my God, just seeing him.
Yeah.
My God. All right, Tommy Cole, another friend of the family.
Oh, we love him.
Yeah.
Love Tom Cole.
He's a pretty he does some flashy things, but in a nutshell, he's a he's a dour small defender.
He's a dour man with big bushy eyebrows.
He looks a lot like Tony Gallardi.
It's still Tom Barras.
Still
Tom
Tom Barras.
Barras,
Alex Witherden.
Nope. Too flashy. You can't kick a ball 55 metres, half a metre off the ground, and then it lace out someone and be out a defender.
You basically can't take kick-outs.
Yes,
If you're taking kick-outs, it means you want the ball in
He
your
loves to
hand,
play on a
and we don't want
kick-out.
that.
Yep. Now,
Nice guy with though.
finally, maybe the nicest person I've ever met, Liam Duggan.
Yeah, Schumer.
Too pretty. I think he's
too
too good
pretty?
looking. I think he's too
Brass
good
is pretty
looking.
hot.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And Duggo is no nonsense, but Duggo's going to play some
classy.
midfield. He's going to play some midfield time this year.
So if you had conversations about you during your career, we need to get him into the midfield.
Yeah.
That takes him away
That's
from
not
this
from you.
conversation.
That's
No
not
one's
for you.
getting.
No one's getting Tom
Barrass.
Barrass getting in the midfield.
Didn't he play ruck a couple
Lewis
of times?
Melican, we need some more time in the midfield, right?
Lewis
Like Joel
Melican, we need him
Hamlin,
running
get
around
in
the
midfield.
ball.
I love it. I
Yeah,
reckon Tom
Barrass.
Barrass
I
is
think
our
Tom
guy.
Barrass is our
Just
guy.
a little
absolutely.
shout out to Holly Reid.
Yeah, and the boy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
Boy and
that-
Harley going to play too much time on the inside.
and they're too good and hot.
All right, Western Bulldogs, our final team. We've got an elite list of defenders here.
This is going to be one of the great lists of all time.
Absolutely. Western Bulldogs, first one off the rank, Liam Jones. Jonesy.
Yeah, Jonesy.
LJ.
Took time off, got paid out from Carlton, came back and took their money and then went and played for the Bulldogs.
Well, we love that. Get paid,
love
son.
money, man.
Go get
Money,
paid.
Yeah, go on. Make hay while the sun shines, Liam.
I'm just a little like he's not very skillful.
He's a maybe.
He's a maybe.
All right, he's a maybe.
He ticks a few boxes.
That's fine.
Not,
We got other
not
guys.
that skillful, but he kind of can take an intercept mark now. He sort of taught himself
Yeah.
that when he was playing forward. I do like the fact he started as a forward. He's realised
worked
his
his
core
way back
now
in.
he's in the back line.
Come home, mate. Alex Keith.
Keithy.
Yeah, see, okay. So
Keithy's-
that's probably an upgrade in terms of dourness.
Yeah, Keithy's down.
Keith,
It's fading already, this thing.
Keithy can't kick.
No, Keithy cannot
Right?
kick.
So, and Keithy gets a little bit of the Sam Frost in him, and he starts running. He doesn't know where he's going.
Yep.
And I don't think he wants the ball at all. I think
Which
at
I
any
respect.
At any time Keithy gets the ball, I reckon he's trying to give it off.
Sure.
So I reckon he's a level
our
above
guy.
Liam Jones.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Bailey Dale. Straight on.
Way too good running
Bailey
and
Dale is a
carrying and
gun.
bouncing and kicking,
All right.
chiseling
Bailey,
balls through the centre of the
you're out of
ground.
here.
Bailey, you're out.
All Australian, I think.
Not
Gun.
even the hottest Bailey on your team.
Good
No.
God. That's well done.
Latham Voldemort. No, Latham Vandermeer.
Quick, fast, and speedy all at the same time. This man is an excitement machine. He can shut down players, but for mine, runs
quick.
too fast.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Last but not least, the final backman that we're going to talk about.
Discuss.
Alex Keith wasn't getting games last year. I just will say that, so we need to consider whoever this is going to be.
Oh, God. Good luck.
They're gonna he already knows. James O'Donnell. Rosie's son.
I mean, what? Tell us about
Jimmy
James. Don't
O'Donnell.
need your laptop. Tell us about
Son
James. How he plays.
of
Rosie.
Simon.
Simon O'Donnell. And
Right.
that's it. That's all I know.
That's
all I
it.
know about him.
I had
So
a
when
year
did he get
9 maths
drafted?
teacher called Paddy O'Donnell. Maybe any.
When did he get drafted?
Might be a connection.
He's a key position and dowerish player. That's the two things I know about
We
him.
don't have options.
It's slim pickings at the Bulldogs, honestly.
We could get behind. What was that guy's name
I
again?
thought Alex
Which
Keith
one?
and
The last
Liam
guy,
Jones would
O'Donnell?
be.
Well, absolutely, Alex Keith
What was
is
this
an
guy?
option,
What was
but
his
he
name?
wasn't
James
playing at
O'Donnell.
times last year. He wasn't getting picked.
We could get behind James
I
O'Donnell.
don't think we could.
I think we could.
All right. Well,
don't know
we
him.
need to go for a name here because our 1 hour time period ended about 45.
I
minutes
don't know James O'Donnell from a bar of soap.
I'm
That
trying-
being
I'm trying to think of
said-
other options.
I like him. That being said, I like him. I'd like to go
Alex
with James
Keith.
O'Donnell and
Alex
then.
Keith.
Alex
No.
Keith.
Alex Keith.
Let's
All right,
let's go
Keithy.
that.
Sorry, Jimmy. You're
That's
my
an
guy. I
incredible
like
backline.
you. I'll send you a Tassie salmon.
We like him. Just
like
like
We
he's
absolutely
gonna
like
get
him.
sponsored by us.
Unless he dominates early.
There's a list.
That's a very good list. We're going to put that together. We'll put it on socials, BackChat _. Have a look. The best backmen in the league. We're going to sponsor them. Who knows what we're actually going to give them, but probably some merch.
Yep,
That's
probably.
about it.
Ed Richards. Ed Richards.
Caleb
Yeah.
Daniel.
Ranger.
Keith played 18 games last year.
He didn't play every game, did he?
How many did
Caleb
O'Donnell play?
Daniel.
Did he get drafted just recently? Probably. Anyway, continue.
Sorry.
All right. If you've got to find us, send us
Send 'em in.
backchatpodcast.com.au is
Yeah. I will say, since we've given warning, the quality level
Quality's
has
Oh,
gone
yeah.
through the
Better.
roof.
and I've enjoyed it a lot. So please send some more
keep
in.
going. Backchatpodcast.com.au/finds. All you need to do is tap a button. You can record it. It's that easy. It sends straight to us.
Wow.
While you're there, while you're just browsing the internet, as people do, backchatstudios.com.au. Thanks to Mum Digital, of course, making our bloody good website there that shows everything what we do. Because you know what, we have BackChat. We got Shelter Footycast, which we talked about. The Full Drive podcast, hosted by Liam Duggan
Schumer
and
Duggan.
Ronnie Dahl. We've got
The OG full drive content creator. We got merch.
we
Go
do
and have a little look at the merch page.
There's merch there. There's a lot
I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
You're wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
You're
Oh,
wearing
I'm not
it.
wearing it.
It's
Oh, I'm
the
wearing a
Southern
hat.
Riverman stuff, but that's
Yep.
good.
There you go. So if you've got a fine, send it to us. Let's hear the first one.
That's a great.
Ahoy, Hamish, Wilbur and Daniel. Tanasi Kokonakis here with a $1 fine for Dan Const for continuing to let down the streamers of his BackChat basketball show. Last year we had podcasts when there were no games on. Now we have plenty of games and no podcast. Very disappointing. He's too busy skipping around this and neighbouring countries throwing his fist around. I bet he doesn't even eat fillet of fish anymore. A changed man, not for the better. What a disgrace. Matter of fact, make that $2.
Gee.
Wow.
That really
Goes
hurt.
whack. It's the
He's
monotone
also- yeah.
nature for
Yeah.
mine.
It was
He's
like a
also
list.
got a nice list of
Not
you.
happy.
He's obviously a fan. Was a fan.
I will be really honest. I haven't had a
serial
fillet
killer.
of fish in a long time.
I'd like
Yeah,
to see you
not
get one this
surprising.
week.
I went to Satchmo Cafe around the corner. They're making a fillet of fish.
There's a Mac is just around the corner, isn't
There's
there?
Macca's in walking distance.
Go and get one
right
after
here.
this.
Okay, I'll get one after this. Sorry, boys.
Skeeter, 6 to 8 wins for the West Coast Eagles. You are pulling the piss.
So,
Well, that's it.
that's on
that
the
it?
back on.
Is that it?
So on the live,
Is that it?
me and Skeeter were
Hang on,
calling.
is that it? Is that the fine?
Me and Skeeter were calling the 5th and 6th terms of this game. We didn't have team sheets, so
Oh,
we
yeah,
had
yeah,
no idea who anyone was. So me and Skeet are just rambling for 2 quarters, basically. And at some point I said, well, how many games do you think West Coast going to win? Skeet's rolled out 6 to 8 wins, right? And so that's a terrific fine. Playing
Yeah,
all
that's a
at
good
home.
one.
I said 2.
Yep.
Is that the last of them, Damo? Oh, that's the last of them.
There
Keep
was
sending
another
in.
amazing one. I know there was another amazing one.
Well, let's see.
Schofield, is there any chance you just call him Mr. Emmett? Mr. Emmett.
Is this the same guy?
Just go with Mr. Emmett because every other name you're just guessing. Mr. Emmett. Well played.
That's very good.
I like that. The live finds are great. When you're watching something, when you're there and you know, you see
More of that,
Scully.
please.
More of that. Yep. I
When
completely
you're
agree.
down at the waffle watching Hammer and he
Yeah.
kicks his third behind in the first quarter.
Let
you
me
get
know
into
about it. Hammer, you fat.
When
No.
you're down at the park and you see the Australian
Fist
fistball
ballers
captain
just
rolling
fisting.
around down there getting a butcher, we'd love to find. When you see Scully
Yeah.
and his bald head out in the middle of Optus Stadium getting absolute ragged on
Yeah.
by
When you
players.
see Scully running around Optus and dredging the Swan River with his massive, then you can put a fine in.
You said it, we read it.
Where's Scully gone?
it's
He's down
good.
dredging the
He's dredging the Swan.
Now,
You know, they got to get the HMS Titanic through there. Oh, well, let's just drop anchor with Scully real quick.
you said that we read it.
Kicking up the dust off the bottom of the fucking Swan.
Absolutely.
Pick up a few
Real
things,
muddy.
put a metal detector on the end of it. Beep.
Stop.
Attach a magnet.
Stop.
What
Hook a
day-
magnet into the end of it.
What day is this happening? The
Pick
the
out all the
run?
bikes and scooters they'll throw in.
I don't know.
Wow.
The lookout, Swan River.
Yeah. Shocking day to be a fish. Okay.
Give it to us.
Yeah.
You said that we read it. Of course, we did say we're cutting this, and it just keeps coming back. Hello, BackChat podcast.
The quality's there. The
We're going
quality's
to cut it when it's bad.
And speaking of cutting it, let's get straight into it. Hi, fellas. The story I have is a long one. I've cut it down as much as possible.
Circumcised it even.
The TL,
Sorry?
the TLDR, which is too long, don't read for you, Scully, is that I have had both a vasectomy
Right,
and a
Simpson.
reversal, and both surgeries have gone pear-shaped.
So what's a reversal?
A reverse vasectomy.
Snip, snap.
Oh, right.
Snip, snap. Pear-shaped, literally resulting in follow-up surgeries. I now have a patchwork quilt scrotum and a willy that is different colour to the rest of me.
Oh, Willie! That's different. A patchwork
change the colour of
quilt.
his-
A patchwork quilt scrotum.
That's good.
So
Like a tartan.
I got a vasectomy in 2019, having had 3 kids with my wife. Almost immediately afterwards, I developed an infection. I assume this is after the vasectomy.
That's sad to hear.
And needed a massive abscess drain from my inflated child's football-sized scrotum 3 days later.
Fuck, you would have felt like a king rolling around there with a massive scrotum.
Well, it's
You
in
seen
a-
that episode of South Park where they're bouncing on their own testicles?
No.
That's funny.
Please
Okay.
continue.
I had a plastic drain put in which came out of the side of my balls for the 4 days I was in hospital and had to have rehab for 3 months afterwards.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Due to ongoing pain and regret associated with it, I decided to get a reversal to try and fix me up, which happened last Thursday. Unfortunately for me, another accident occurred because they had nicked an artery and sewed me back up. My dick and my bladder cavity started to inflate with blood.
This can't be
Jeepers.
real.
He's got a massive heart on. He's in so much pain and all his blood rushing to it.
I've had to have emergency surgery that evening to fix the
This is a week ago.
Arterial hematoma.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in
That's a big
between,
bleed.
had unbelievable pain due to the pressure from the bleed on my bladder, and now dark purple penis.
Is there a picture associated with this?
Yes, I'll get. No, that it's
Has he
not.
sent through a pic?
No. They
I'd
had
love
to
to see the
wheel me into a
patchworks.
recovery area to give me morphine through an IV because the fentanyl, oxycodone, and buprenorphine, whatever it's called, I was on didn't even touch the pain. Oh, and while waiting for the emergency surgery, I went to the toilet and passed out, resulting in a cold blue. I woke up to have 10 people looking at me with my purple dick out on the floor of the toilet. After the surgery, the repair that
It's gone well so far.
Sorry, after the surgery to repair the bleed, I spent a couple of nights in hospital and am now resting at home with ice on my balls. The bruising looks like I've been in a car crash. 0 out of 10 experience, would not recommend. I have pictures as well. Let me know if you want to see them.
Yes.
Be warned, they're the worst thing ever.
Definitely.
Argents, from Sam.
No, Sam, we would love to see
Send
those
them.
pictures.
You send them, we'll look at them.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so I would love you to send those to either, I don't know how you'll send them. You can send them to me. You can send
Hello
them
at
to
backchatpodcast.com.au.
Send them to Hammer.
I'd love to see. If you Instagram me at Sugar Bray and send them, I would, I'd look at it. I'll look at your purple dick and balls. I'd love to see the patchwork scrotum.
That's the intriguing part to me.
I'm very intrigued, yeah.
This week on the podcast, of course, we talked about Shoulder Footy Cast, all the things we're doing. We've got a live, not live yet. We are having a show on Friday as well at 4:30. That will come out.
Make sure you tune in to our new show on Friday.
Yeah.
We've never released anything then.
It's crazy.
Tune in.
Tune in.
Other things that have that are happening this week. Hammer, you've attempted to break a world record.
I have.
I don't know if you did it or not. Were you here for it, Scully?
No, you
I had
ducked
to
out.
leave.
Okay.
I was hosting the Grace.
You don't know if you broke it. I don't know if you broke it, but we do have a little teaser clip to play you
Tease me.
from Hammer on the weekend. Okay. Spraying shaving cream on his head.
That's that blue. On your helmet.
Really good about this. Like I feel confident.
It looks cool.
Look, I don't know what the record is, and I don't know how much shaving foam he actually used. And look, to be fair, we're probably going over. But I just want to, realistically, it's just the speed of the delivery. If I can get the speed of delivery right, even when we get the narrowed, like if I know that I can get 17 balls in here in 30 seconds, then we can go to work on narrowing down this shaving foam and really figuring out what's what.
What is going on?
But for now, I'm feeling supremely confident. Just get that up a bit higher.
So Hammer, just for those listening, Hammer's built
a shaving foam crown on my head.
Really tall as well.
Yeah.
So
it was a good that was a good fun world record attempt.
Great. All right. Well, this Thursday.
I'm not positive. I'm not going to tell you.
Positive.
I'm not going to tell you one way or the other.
Positive.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Very good. This Thursday, the full video came out on YouTube. So there you go. Little teaser for you.
Teaser for you.
I mean, you won record up. We didn't really get to talk about you.
I'd set a world record. I set a world record.
Congratulations, man.
Most bells rung in the bell tower.
Yeah.
It's the most dumbest record ever.
Yeah.
So, we're counting it?
No, we're not counting
You didn't
it.
break a world record.
I'll break a world record.
You can set them, but we're talking about breaking.
Yeah, that's hammer breaks. It's not hammer
hammer
sets. Hammer breaks.
Very good.
New concept next year. Hammer
Volleyball.
sets. Just make shit up and do it.
Make
So
shit
it's
up,
world
yeah.
record.
We got one more video to show before we finish for today. It's been a longer episode. Would say
Are we going to apologise?
Don't
God,
care.
no. We said that off the top. We can go as long as we want.
This week, also on Wednesday, we have a guest episode. Now,
wow.
When we put out on the tile for social media throughout the week, leading up to this on Insta, it went Burko. We weren't sure how it was going to get received.
Ugly.
Yeah.
We got political takes. We got sporting takes. We got personal takes. Bit of everything.
Bit of everything. Let's just hear a little
of our guest
sample.
this week.
Little sample.
I will reflect on that time forever as being amongst the most special times in my life.
Because that's like one of the most iconic things in history.
Yeah, Bruce looks at Bruce's calls and goes, oh, I wish I'd said that.
Perhaps the most memorable for punters is Stephen Bradbury.
Yet it's called Thanks Basil. Thank you very much.
You would have seen what he was doing.
Yeah. No,
Was there any feedback given?
you want the real answer?
It's a good tease from Big Baz.
Basil
Basil
Zemplis
Zemplis
on the show.
Big Bad Basil Zemplis.
Will he talk about politics? Will he just talk about sport? You be the judge. What I did notice on that, which I'm just giving some feedback to the production team on the fly. I know this is a podcast, but never turn that light on again behind us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please
Hate
continue.
it. We should
Please
just get rid of
I
it.
think it's already gone.
That's it. On Friday, 4:30.
Smells good.
We'll be as live, and then the following week, Monday, BackChat Studios, the YouTube page, we will be live. You can watch the podcast.
We'll be fucking live.
Scoy's pointing to his pinky, which means he's about to list some stuff.
So there's lots of things going on.
Yes.
Basil Zemplis getting released.
Yes.
Hammer Break's doing a new thing as well. We've got we're going an extra episode on Friday, then live next week. We have the Shelter Footycast live show at Bustleton. Buy your tickets. The link is in our bio or on the Shelter Brewing website, which is shelterbrewing.com.au. $15 tickets. Mark Reddings buys you a beer if you want to come down to that. That'll be a West Coast and Fremantle preview of the year with some laughter ahead. I might even do a naked lap there too. See if some dredging needs doing down at Bustleton. Have I missed anything?
You've jailed it.
Yeah, well
Really good. Hope you've had fun today. Feedback is always welcome and warranted. YouTube, Instagram, patrons, you're the men and women too.
Absolutely. A little shout out to all of our other sponsors, other than Fleet Network, who of course power the podcast.
They do.
2024. Whippersnapper Whisky, Mamba Digital, Shelter Brewing Co. And I'm just going to say the name again, Fleet Network.
Yeah,
we
go
bloody love them.
Stay
around for a little Patreon chat. We got a story on someone about stealing board shorts, and
we're going to practice doing a new read for a new sponsor.
It's
a new
be very
sponsor
good.
coming on
very
soon.